Hello, Love Wrestling. Good morning, Thursday, July 31st, 2025. Trade deadline day for us baseball fans. But we are here. Big weekend coming up this weekend as we have a massive first ever two-night SummerSlam upon us in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium, which we will be breaking down and previewing and making our picks for later on in this show. We also have AEW Dynamite to discuss last night, where we had a massive rematch for, yes, this is my Dusty Rhodes Bionic Elbow t-shirt.
Oh, very nice.
That's my t-shirt of the day. So
when I choose to wear a plain shirt, you wear a wrestling shirt.
Yeah, exactly. That's how that goes. Yes, we will not be breaking down the pre-shows, Ophelia.
No.
But
well, they don't do wrestling on the pre-shows anyway. So.
No. So why we need 3 hours, I have no idea. But it is what it is. People will watch it because they're
crazy.
You know? Yeah, I mean, live your life, live your best life, do whatever you want to do. It's not my life. I will not be watching those 3-hour pre-shows. I will probably tune in a good hour before the show, like normal, and get jacked up and get ready to go. But yes, we're also going to be discussing AEW Dynamite last night, where we had that massive rematch for the AEW World Championship, with Hangman Adam Page defending against Jon Moxley. So we'll talk about Dynamite, break that down. I have not watched all of WWE Unreal, but I have tuned into a few episodes, so we can we'll chat about that a little bit as well. There's obviously a lot of dialogue going on with that fun stuff and everything there as well. But a big weekend coming. Yeah, man. It's hot and heavy. The biggest party of the summer is this weekend, Drew. Biggest party of the summer.
Yeah.
And the card is looking good. It looks like a strong 2 nights. There's going to be a lot of stuff for us to dive into, so we'll save that for kind of the second half to the end of the show. We'll dive into SummerSlam. I figured we'd start with some AEW today, talk some Dynamite, and then we'll make our way to our SummerSlam preview. But before we do all that fun stuff, how we doing this week, Drew? How's life treating you?
Pretty good. Can't lie. I've been feeling a lot more motivation to do things lately.
Good.
It's nice. It's nice to have motivation to do things. Sometimes you need to do it for yourself if no one else is getting it done for you. So,
yeah.
I have a very supportive, lovely family here at home. So I'm not that I'm saying I don't have any support, but it's all mental really at the end of the day. And you can have as much support as possible and still just not get any type of stuff done for yourself because you just lack that motivation. And I've just been feeling pretty good lately. So
good.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, they did change the YouTube thing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Good fucking morning, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Now we can say the F word right away if they want. We're kind of hindered here at Love Wrestling, though, because we have the countdown to start the show plus the intro songs. So, but technically, you can say an F-bomb in the first 10 seconds of the video and you don't get in trouble anymore. So,
well, they said it can't be excessive.
can't be excessive. But what is excessive swearing to them? Every other word, like, what does that mean? In a normal 2-hour show, if I were to swear 20 times, is that excessive?
They're basically, what you don't want to do is have a live camera set pretty much in any Italian coffee shop, because there's
What
going
I'm
to be an
saying.
F word every other word is
Yeah,
an F
that's what I'm
this or
saying.
that.
It's like, how do
Yeah.
I, how do I determine what is excessive? You know, I don't know. But we got Sandy, we got Zach, we got Ophelia, we got Lawrence in the chat. Welcome in, y'all, as more people popping in today as we kind of start this show off.
How are you doing? How has your life been? Tell us everything.
I don't want to be alive. So I'm kidding. That's a joke. Relax. Kind of. No, I'm working my ass off. Not ideal. Working too much. I am in a good spot. I'm having fun. Like you said, I'm surrounded by good people, whether it's virtually through this world or in real person world. I'm surrounded by good people. I'm having a good time. Life is good. The motivation thing that you talked about, I have been that way for a few months because I work a lot with the regular job. And the things that I want to do, like on my own, I feel like I am pushing them aside because I'm working too much. So I get home from work and I'm like, I should go stream for a few hours, or I should go like record a video and put it out, or I should go do this thing. But I'm just working so much that by the time I get home, I'm just like, I'm tired and I don't want to do that now. And then I don't. And then I beat myself up for it, for being lazy and not doing it. So that's really kind of the mental state that I've been in. It's like you could do it, but you're tired, so you choose not to. And then I beat myself up for choosing not to and I call myself a loser and lazy and things like that. So I'm in that never-ending cycle of life. That's where I'm at right now, because I want to be doing this for my job. This is what I want my job to be. I don't want to be working for, not that I dislike what I do, but I don't want to be, I do it for other people. I don't do that for me. I don't do that for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's really like, yeah, I'm good at it. I like doing it because I'm good at it, but it ain't for me. And I'm at a point in my life where, like, I don't really want to work for anybody else but me. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't, you know? So, yeah. But all in all, though, I'm pretty good. I'm excited for this weekend. SummerSlam is a good time. I'm excited to talk about stuff with you. I'm excited for Beards tonight. This part of the life is really good when I get to come on here and chat about all the stuff like that. It's really getting my mindset in the right place when it comes to the things outside of the screens where people see me, because that's where I feel like I'm struggling a bit. But yeah, that's where we're at, brother. That's where we're at. You wouldn't be able to tell because I come on here and I'm just unreal at everything I do. So you're like, wow, this guy's like a machine. It's like, yeah, even though I'm dying on the inside. But it is what it is. You muscle on through. Some
We're all
people
dying
are
on the
just
inside anyway.
some people are just professionals like me, and they come on here and you would think I'm the happiest guy on earth. But it is what it is. So yeah. Are we all though? Is that true?
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I think scientifically we are, right? Yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, that's where we're at. So, Drew, I'm going to be honest with you.
Thank God. I already know what you're going to say, because I was going to say the same thing.
Are you sure though? Are you sure? I don't think
Usually
the show.
that leads to something negative that's about to be said.
I don't think AEW Dynamite last night was bad by any means.
It was mid as hell.
I thought it was the most mid episode of Dynamite that we got in months. Now, there were great stuff on the show. The world title match was a great match. The women's tag match was a great match. There were other things. I love the MJF and Hangman stuff. Like, there were things on this show that I very, very much enjoyed and I thought were good to great. However, there were also things on this show that, like you said, I don't think they were necessarily bad, but I mid. I did not care. I thought that, it was a very up and down episode of Dynamite for me. And there have not been many up and down things that AEW has been doing lately. I feel like they've just been up and up and up and up. And I felt like last night there was some stuff on this show that very much missed with me. As we kind of dive into it, I assume that you had similar opinions about the show before we start kind of getting into it here.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They picked a great week to be mid. This would have been the week for them to be mid.
But I feel like that hasn't been the trend, because what they've been doing lately is when WWE has big shows, they always do the back-to-back. So Collision is tonight instead of Saturday, because SummerSlam is Saturday. They're not going to go up against SummerSlam, obviously. So they're doing the back-to-back collisions. They're in the same venue, kind of like they did WrestleMania week when they were in Boston for the summer breakthrough, spring breakthrough. They call it the spring breakthrough.
Yeah.
Which was a great pair of shows in Boston. And I thought we would get a similar thing this week. And like I said, there were great things on the show, but overall I was like, I feel like they usually try to ball out a little bit on these shows to kind of like get everybody heading into the big WWE weekend talking about AEW and what happened there. And I just felt like last night was just, it was just a little average to me. I was kind of shocked by the averageness of it, to be honest.
Promo segments went way too long.
There were a lot of them. There were 7, and for AEW, there were 7 different promo or backstage interview segments throughout this show. There were only 4 matches on the show. Now, all 4 of those matches were long matches, and they were good matches. So, again, when I talk about the stuff that was good to great on this show, the matches were the good to great part of the show. The matches were excellent. And I would say,
for the most part, I will say, as much as I love the people in the main event,
I don't know why that main evented in the world title match didn't. What was the point of that?
Yeah.
Why wasn't that
was
flipped?
very strange.
Why wasn't that flipped? And Briscoe and Ricochet were the 9:00 match, and the main of I don't understand why the world title match was in the middle of the show. It did not make sense to me.
No, it didn't. Whatsoever. Especially with what happened towards the end too. It felt like that was like a main event style.
It was.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. Tony Khan decided, because they did this. He did this with the Adam Copeland and
that was in the middle of the show.
Moxley rematch. That was in the middle of the show. But I think like Tony was the main event, or something else that was like a huge deal was the main event. And again, I love Ricochet. You ain't gonna see me talking shit about Ricochet. And I love Mark Briscoe as well. That was not main event worthy for me. But not only was it not main event worthy for me, I don't even think that was something that needed to happen after their great ambulance match at Revolution, or stretcher match.
No, I think they wanted to get Briscoe. They're clearly, over the last, basically since the MJF stuff happened with him, they're clearly elevating. They're in the process of elevating Mark Briscoe to a main event.
Yeah, they are, which
level, and it's working.
That.
And I think that's what that was. I think they wanted to really showcase Mark Briscoe. He gets his win back from Ricochet. Then they do the post-match stuff with MJF, which then they announced that next week on the main event, it's going to be the one-on-one with MJF and Briscoe. They have then they do the attack thing, and Hangman comes out, and he ends up putting over Briscoe, raises his hand. It's clearly, it was all by design, it seemed to me, and I guess maybe they wanted Hangman to have already retained the title when he came out to do the stuff with Max and Mark. I don't know. It just felt like, I don't know. Maybe to them, they were like, well, if we want to do this segment and it's in the middle of the show, why would Hangman come out before his world title match to get involved? I guess.
I mean, that's not. I feel like that's already happened before.
Because the way that the night went, right? We had the world title match halfway through the show. Then we have the backstage segment where Renee is going to interview Hangman and he gets interrupted by MJF. Hangman shits on him again. Then we have the Mark Briscoe stuff with MJF, and MJF attacks Briscoe, and Hangman's the guy that comes out and makes the save. Maybe in their brain, they were like, this wouldn't make sense if the world title match was at the end of the show. Like, it wouldn't make sense for Hangman to, we wouldn't have that backstage thing because it was at the end of the show with MJF and Hangman, which was kind of a prelude to Hangman getting involved. Maybe that's what they were thinking. I don't know. It just felt weird when all of a sudden it's 9:00. And again, to me, when they announced the rematch between Hangman and Moxley, that's a different vibe to me than when they announced the rematch with Copeland and Moxley. To me, that was just a different vibe. So when that show went halfway through the, I don't think anybody really thought Moxley was going to win the title back from Hangman last night, but I felt like there might have been more people who thought maybe than there was. Nobody thought Adam Copeland was winning that match. Nobody.
Well, once the match was put in the middle of the show, it's like, well, we're not doing a title change in the middle of the show. So there's either going to be some sort of shenanigans and it's going to be a DQ or, like I was not expecting the title to be changed. I would have maybe been sold more on it if it was the main event.
Yeah.
But they weren't going to do something like that in the middle of the show.
No, I don't think so. But regardless of that, the show is in Chicago. It is the last week of their residency there. Collision tonight will be the last show they have in that building. A very cool looking venue that housed AEW for the last 3 weeks or so. We get a video package that's pretty much hyping up the Hangman Moxley match, showing clips from the All In Texas Death Match. And then we go right into the action. And we have a first round matchup in the tag team tournament. It is the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, against the Outrunners. And I love this right from the jump. They gave Nick and Matt the jobber entrance. They didn't even give them a nameplate. It just said talent name and social media.
Talent name, social media.
Yeah, so they did that, which was a lot of fun. The Young Bucks are really hamming it up and selling it, which is they're leaning in. There's a lot of self-awareness going on with this when it comes to the Young Bucks and AEW and how they're handling this little run of the Bucks. And I think that is it's been really good. I loved how Justin Roberts didn't even call him the Young Bucks. He just said Matt and Nick Jackson, and he said it real quickly. And they're like, "What the hell?" Like they're looking around, like, "What's everyone's problem?" Just real fun, good stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you. This was a good match. This was a good, I did call this match happening, just for the record. I was hoping the outcome was different, so I would have fully nailed it. But yes, last week on this show, I asked Drew flat out, because we did not know the full brackets, because they did not release the full brackets until over the weekend. I said, do we think the Young Bucks are going to be in this tournament? And you originally were like, no, I don't think so. And I said, really? I said, I think they're going to be in it, and they should lose in the first round. And then I said, they should go against the Outrunners and lose in the first round. And then the brackets came out, and they were matched up with the Outrunners, and I was like, oh, shit. I was like, here we go. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Tony took that idea. However,
yes,
he did not take the losing idea.
Yes, which again, look at fine. I think it would have been a lot more fun if the Outrunners beat them. And there were a few times in this match where I thought the Outrunners were, and I was like, holy shit, they're going to do it. I just thought it would have been a lot more fun to just lean in even more on the Bucks, just really going through it. Yeah. They referenced in the match, commentary referenced the tag team tournament from the beginning of AEW where the Young Bucks lost in the first round. You notice, though, that they did not mention the name Private Party, which tells me, bye-bye, see you later. They'll be on NXT. They'll be on NXT soon enough.
That's a real fucking shame.
Did not mention them by name at all. They just said they lost in the first round, and that was it. They just no mention of Private Party. which tells me that they are most likely no longer members of the AEW roster. We had heard reports that NXT and WWE were very interested in them. As long as they can get a good gig, good for them. Good for them. So, I mean, it is what it is, but that's a shame. They felt like the tag team, when AEW first started, they felt like the young tag team that AEW was going to like get behind as like their main original tag team. You know, you had the Bucks, you had all these other guys, but you had Daniels and Kazarian and Scorpio. You had these established tag teams, the Best Friends. You had these guys that people knew from New Japan and Ring of Honor and established. It felt like Private Party was going to be the new up-and-coming team that was like an AEW original. Basically, the way that the Acclaimed rose to fame and kind of got over, and that I kind of expected that would be what they would do at Private Party. And when Private Party beat the Young Bucks in the first round of that tournament on the second ever episode of Dynamite, it was pretty clear to everybody. It was like, oh shit, they're strapping a rocket to these guys. They just beat the Young Bucks. Like they are gonna be that. And it just never came to, and I know there were injuries and they had to be off TV for a while. There was some bad luck involved, but it just felt like, overall their run, even though they were there for almost the entirety of 5 years or so, it just felt like their run was a swing and a miss for what everyone was expecting it to be.
And their run came to an end with them finally winning the tag titles.
Yeah, literally.
And I was like, so well, now we have fuck all to do with them.
Yeah. So very, it's a shame. I do like Private Party. I do watch NXT, so if they were to end up over there, I mean, that would be a good spot. I think NXT could use some more established tag teams. So the Private Party going there, whatever their names would be or whatever they would call themselves, I feel like that would be a good get for NXT because they do need some, in the men's tag team department, they do need some more legitimate teams. But regardless,
according to the guy on top, the whole men's division sucks over there.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I will say this, and don't get me wrong. Look at, I have watched the first, what is there, 4 or 5 episodes? I watched the first 2 episodes of Unreal. I actually really enjoyed it. That type of stuff is my type of stuff. Now, I'm not going into, I understand why some diehards are like, we're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to be seeing this stuff and knowing. I get that.
By the way, speaking of WWE for a moment, when we're into that, when we get into that and the SummerSlam stuff, do we want the match?
I didn't download any of the stuff. I mean, if we wanted to add them in, that's a nice touch, but it's up to you. I don't feel like we need to, but if we want to, it's up to you. I didn't have time. Yeah, if you want, I didn't have time, unfortunately, to do all that stuff before the show. But yeah, I mean, I dug WWE Unreal. I understand why people feel a certain way about it. But I also understand that WWE is doing this very purposefully. They're showing us what they want to show us. They're not showing us everything. It's very calculated what they're letting us see behind the scenes of, which is cool. It's a cool little insight to how things go there. But trust me, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that they are not showing us, that we're not seeing. And it's very purposeful. So I think it's cool. And I think if you like that type of stuff, I think it's cool. And I think it's cool to see because I do believe some of the backstage stuff they're showing us is legitimate. Like that's what happens. That's the discussions that I've had. Like some of that is real, but it's very planned out, like what they're willing to show and what they're not. And I think people just kind of need to keep that in mind. We're not seeing everything, but they are pulling back the curtain at least a little bit, which is, again, for someone like me who kind of digs that type of stuff, I thought it was cool. I
have not watched an episode. I'm not going to. I saw enough clips on social media yesterday to feel like I watched the entire thing. So good enough. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. So yeah. But Dynamite opened up. It's the Young Bucks. It's the Outrunners. Good tag match. This was a good tag match. Like I said, I would have had the Outrunners go over because I just think that would have been fun as far as like, the continuing the stuff with the Bucks. But a really, really good back and forth match. There were a few times where I thought the Outrunners were going to do it. I thought they were going to do it. But at the end of the day, they did not. The Bucks hit a TK driver on Turbo Floyd at the end of the match to win, and they advance to the second round of the tournament. They will face the winners. There's a match tonight on Collision between Brodito, which is Brody King, and Bandito. They are going against, oh my God, who are they going against tonight? Damn it. I forget who they're facing, but they're facing, they're in their first round match tonight. I expect Brodito to win that match. And then we are also getting the first semifinal tonight with FTR and the Bang Bang Gang as well. So we'll know one half of the bracket and who's in the finals. I'm expecting FTR to make it to the Gates of Agony. Thank you, Ophelia. Or as they're going by now, GOA. Yes. GOA.
That's a great trio right there. So
yep. Yeah, I did not like the bigger guy basically stealing Brian Keith's gimmick last night, though. That was you got to come up with something new, big guy. Come up with something new. You better respect Ricochet. I'm pretty sure that's Brian Keith's gig with Chris Jericho. So why don't you think of something new? Anymore, though. Well, I understand that, but the second he said it, I immediately was like, "Is that Brian Keith?" So do something new. But regardless of that, that match is happening tonight. The winners will face the Young Bucks, and they will most likely go on to the finals against FTR. Is that what they're doing here? We're getting another Young Bucks and FTR match in the finals of this tournament? Or do we think Brodito is going to be the team that makes it? Because it would have to be them, right? It's not going to be the Gates of Agony against FTR. Like, it would have to be Bandito and Brody King in the finals.
I mean, yeah, but I thought it was going to be one thing, and it ended up not. So I
thought it was going to be FTR and the Outrunners.
Not going to be FTR and the Young Bucks again.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going FTR and Outrunners one last time in the finals. That's what I thought we were going to do. So I thought the Outrunners were going to upset the Bucks last night. I thought the Outrunners were going to make a run to the finals, give them some more legitimacy, because it's very clear that over the last month or so that FTR and the Young Bucks have really gotten the Outrunners over more to even like elevating them as a tag team more. And it's worked. And I just felt like the Outrunners winning last night and potentially making a small little run to the finals would have continued to do that. But again, this was a good opening tag match, Drew. I very much enjoyed it.
Yes, I agree. I really enjoyed it too. I just wish the Young Bucks didn't win.
Yeah, I root for. I thought that. Yeah. And look, it's the Young. And listen, the Young Bucks are so damn good, dude. They're so damn good, and it's crazy. It's just they do all this stuff, and they've had all these different runs, but they get in the ring, and there's just nobody like them. There's just nobody like them. And they're still just tremendous. And that match was great last night. And, the Young Bucks making another run and doing what they're doing is good. I just felt like them winning that match kind of went against the way that they're kind of handling the Young Bucks, kind of. So, I don't know. But we'll see. But after this match, Kazuchika Okada comes out. He's celebrating with the Young Bucks. And then all three of them start beating down the Outrunners. So it seems that Okada and the Young Bucks are still very much friends, because we've seen Okada obviously go with Don Callis, and he's kind of not been around the Bucks. But it seemed like they're still friendly. They're beating up the Outrunners, and Swerve Strickland's music hits. Prince Nana comes out. He's doing the dance. Swerve gets in there, makes the save.
See, this was this was like another little like the Jeff Hardy a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
well, Nana
didn't need the whole it doesn't have to be every time Swerve's music hits. We do the coffee throw and the thing, and he comes out after when Nana goes like it doesn't have to be that every single time.
Yeah. So Swerve comes out, and the thing I liked about this was Okada, once Swerve comes out, Okada's eyes are like deadlocked on Swerve. And he's focused on Swerve, so he doesn't realize that the Outrunners have gotten the advantage over the Bucks, and they send the Bucks out of the ring because Okada is so focused on Swerve. And then all of a sudden, it looks like all three of them are gonna take advantage of Okada. Turbo Floyd hits him with a big back suplex, but Okada rolls out to the floor, and it looks like the Bucks and Okada are going to get away really not as bad as they could have, but then Swerve goes to the top rope, and he hits a massive stomp from the top rope to the Bucks and Okada on the outside, and he stares into the camera.
I'm excited for this feud.
And that's how this segment ends. Yeah, I assume we're going to get a trios match here soon, maybe even next week on Dynamite and stuff like that. And then, but I am very excited for Okada and Swerve. Once they kind of teased it after All In a couple weeks ago, I was like, I need this match. I need this match. I'm still anxiously awaiting for it. I don't want to wait as long as they're probably going to have us wait till Forbidden Door, but I'm like, I want this match now. I want this match now. I'm very excited for Okada and Swerve. Very, very excited. We then went backstage. Mark Briscoe is being interviewed by Renee Paquette. He asks her if she knows where MJF is because he's looking for MJF. And then Ricochet and GOA roll up. And Ricochet says, so Ricochet's got his glasses, falling down. He's looking the part. He's got the hat and the glasses and all stuff like this. And Ricochet says, man, you're distracted. You're distracted. He goes, I'm a whole different man. He goes, you're focused on MJF when you should be focused on me. We're wrestling tonight. Remember what happened at the ambulance match? Like, you're too distracted. And Briscoe is serious. He's been serious, Mark Briscoe. He's serious, and he says, I'm a whole different man than I was at Revolution. I'm on a war path, and I'm going to whoop your ass, and it's only a fraction of what I'm going to do to MJF when I get my hands on him. Ricochet says, none of that matters. I'll see you later tonight, does the little laugh, and walks off. So another side of serious Mark Briscoe, which again, I mean, we'll kind of dive into it as we go throughout the night, but I thought this was a little good backstage thing with Briscoe and Ricochet, and Briscoe kind of saying, hey, I'm not the funny guy that you dealt with a couple months ago. Like, I'm on a serious path to get to where I need to go. And I think you're underestimating me a little bit. I liked it. Oh God. And then we go, and then another promo. Cause this is like, I think we can 4
speed run through these.
Yeah, we did 4 promos. Well, I mean, these are important to the show, Drew. We can't really speed run to it. But
nobody cares about Dynamite right now. It's all
what is it?
Nobody cares about Dynamite right now.
Well, we still got to talk about the show. Jesus. MJF is interviewed backstage. He's outside the Hurt Syndicate's locker room. He says, everyone thinks there's trouble in the Hurt Syndicate, but I'm here to let you all know there isn't. He knocks on the door, and Shelton Benjamin comes out.
As soon as I said that, 2 people stopped watching, by the way.
There you go. There you go. So Shelton Benjamin.
That means I was right.
Comes out. Do you just not want to do the show, Drew? Because I'm getting the vibe that you just don't want to do the show anymore.
I'm actually more interested in talking about SummerSlam.
Okay, but we talk about both here, so we got to talk about both. Okay, that's what we do. If people are in the chat, that's what they know, so they can leave if they want. So Shelton Benjamin comes out. He says MVP's not there because he's disappointed him. He says Bobby is not there, and he pulls out the watch that Max gave him, and he said, "You gave me this watch, this really nice watch." And Max goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "This is the best watch I've ever seen."
This part was funny. I like
from Temu. Yeah, he goes, "From Temu." He goes, "This watch is fake. We've known it's been fake since the second you gave it to us, and we've known you've been full of shit since the second we've been dealing with you," which I thought was kind of good because the watch was the whole reason that Shelton Benjamin gave Max the thumb up.
Right.
So the whole reason Shelton was like, yeah, you're cool with me was because of this watch. And then we find out that it's a fake watch. And basically he says, you better get out of here before you're laying in a whole pool of your own piss. And he goes, and as far as I'm concerned, you're out. And then we do that. Then we can speed run through this because I don't know what was going on, but this Christian Cage promo was awful. This was an awful, awful segment. And it's not to the level of Christian. I don't know what was going on because Christian is usually fantastic.
It was 10 minutes of talking just to say, I disown you, Nick Wayne.
But it wasn't, but I felt like he was stuttering over his words at times. And he was trying to recover by like acting like the crowd, I'm conducting it was just so.
Nobody was saying a word and he's telling people to be quiet.
It was very weird. Yeah. It was very weird, but he addressed Copeland. He
found one person that turned to another person and started talking and said, be quiet. I'm conducting business.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. It was just very weird. But basically he told he said, I'm the same guy. I'm an asshole. I've always been an asshole. I'm not going to change. I'm always going to be an asshole. And then he questioned the patriarchy, said, you're nothing without me, blah, blah, blah. I disown you. And then he went, Adam, you told me to go find myself. I already know who I am. So it feels like Christian's the same guy. So he hasn't really learned anything or whatever. It was just a weird.
And then he got beat down at the end.
Yes, yes, he did. And he got a standing on the cage. They gave him on the stage. They gave him a standing concerto.
Has there ever been one like that done before?
Not that I can remember. That they gave him a standing concerto and he sold it well. He was convulsing and shit. It was, but yeah, that was it. So it was just a weird promo, not to the level that we expect from Christian. Then we had a backstage segment with Stokely Hathaway and FTR. He talked a little shit to the the Bang Bang Gang. Telling them they're going to lose tomorrow night. Said that, FTR is the best tag team in the world, blah, 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 blah. And then we had our world title match right in the middle of the show. Hangman Adam Page defending against Jon Moxley. Everyone is banned from ringside. And for about 80% of the match, 85% of the match, that was the case. This was a really good, violent, for a normal match, as violent as it could be. Starts off hot and heavy. They are beating the crap out of each other. At one point, Moxley hits a pile driver on the steel steps to Hangman, which was gnarly. He hit another pile driver on the apron. Hangman hit a dead eye on the announcer's desk to Moxley. So there were some big spots in this match, back and forth. Really, really good.
There was another one in the ring, too, to Moxley, where Moxley's head, you can literally see just bam, hits that
tombstone.
Mat.
Yeah. There was a lot of good back and forth, a lot of good spots. Hangman hits his moonsault to the outside. He gets in the ring, and as he's going for a dead eye, the referee gets knocked out to the ground, and then almost immediately we see Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta walking through the crowd towards the ring. Mm-hmm. Security, they had security all around the ring.
Yes. Something's happening.
Yeah, so they had security all around the ring to prevent people from getting involved. They come out, all of the security swarms to them, and then we see Marina Shafir. She grabs the world title, slides it in the ring to Mox. Mox cracks Hangman with the world title. The referee comes to 1, 2, kick out.
It was like,
yeah, it was very close.
Literally like
it was a very close 2.99999. But a very good kick out. Yeah, very good kick out. And then we kind of see security walking the Death Riders through the crowd, through the entrance, and up on a balcony. We see Darby Allin appear out of nowhere, and he jumps off this balcony.
Arenas like this are amazing.
Yes,
spots like this.
Yep, and he jumps off the balcony and takes out all of the security and the Death Riders. The crowd's going nuts. Darby's going nuts. Moxley sees this in the ring. He's distracted. He's pissed. And then that leads to a buckshot on Moxley, but then it gets reversed into the Bulldog choke. And I'm like, holy shit. I thought that would be the end of the match. Yeah. Moxley's choking him out. I'm like, what is going on? But it eventually reverses into a Deadeye. He hits a buckshot. 1, 2, 3. Hangman retains. Great world title match. Great rematch. Obviously, Hangman is moving on, and we assume Moxley is heading towards Darby now officially, and that'll be the next feud for Moxley is Darby. And then Hangman is obviously getting involved with MJF and all that stuff over there. But I thought this was, again, it should have main evented the show. I still don't know why it didn't. But this was a tremendous rematch and easily the best part of that show last night, without question.
Oh yeah. That was, I don't understand why it wasn't the main event. That was like it was booked even like a main event match in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
It was good though. I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then we went right into another really good part of the episode as we had ourselves a great tag team match. It was Alex Windsor teaming up with Timeless, the champ, Timeless Tony Storm, and they were going against the Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena and Billy Starks. This was a great tag match between these four. And I must say, I have not seen a lot of Alex Windsor. This was really the first. I have not watched the Athena in her match from Collision. I heard it's excellent. I am going to go back and watch it. This was really the first time that I had seen her like wrestle. She stood out to me in this match. All four of these women are great, but I know what to expect from Tony, Billy, and Athena. But I thought Alex Windsor was really, really good in this tag match. Yeah, and I must say, her and Tony as a team was really good too. They were doing some tag team stuff that was fun when they did the dance to the corner and then both double kicked Billy Starks. I thought that was a fun little spot. This was good, Drew. I really like this.
I've got to say, this year especially, AEW has been doing really, really great stuff with new signees.
Yeah.
Like Megan Bain, both of Jet Speed.
Yep.
Josh Alexander, now Alex Windsor. They're on TV consistently. They're really showing out, and it's been really awesome to see this. Like this has been a stellar year for new signees.
I agree. And another thing that I loved about this match was the end of this match. You got Billy Starks in the ring. She's going back and forth with Tony. There is a tag that happens with Athena, which nobody can really see it except the ref. And Tony keeps on attacking Billy Starks. She hits her with some Mongolian chops. She does the good old-fashioned Luthez press with some punches, Stone Cold Steve Austin style, which I love. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And while this is happening, Pluggo, what's going on, man? And while this is happening, Athena gets a blind tag. She goes to the top rope, and she hits the O-face on Tony Storm right in the middle of the ring, and she pins the champ. 1, 2, 3, right in the middle of the ring.
And she should have cashed in right then.
I want to talk about it because post-match, Billy Starks throws Alex Windsor into the barricade. They take her out. The ref is right in the ring. Tony Storm is unconscious in the ring with Athena. Why did Athena not cash in and win the world title right there? Why did that not happen?
It's a Sonic hat, by the way.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Heck yeah. That was the only thing that shocked me in this was I felt like that was the moment for just cash in and win the title right there. Why are you not? It was right there for you. But again, overall, tag match was great. I loved the ending with the O-face and Athena winning. But the attack after the match and just the way it went down, Athena's talking shit to Tony, telling her, I'm going to win the title whenever I want to because it's my time and my time is forever. And I'm sitting there looking at the screen doing, go right now. She's unconscious. Just give it to the ref and just cover her. Just cover her. It's over. But she didn't. Okay, fine. So that was one of those things where I was like, great tag match. I like the ending. I did not understand why she just didn't cash in and she would have won the title right there. It made no sense. But again, regardless, great tag match. Great tag match. Then we got the backstage thing that we talked about a little bit at the top with Hangman and MJF. Hangman is being asked about his match. MJF interrupts immediately. He congratulates Hangman. He says, yeah, you called me a coward, but you're the real coward because you won't face me unless I cash this in. He says, and Hangman goes, "You're not going to goad me into a match, dude." He goes, "You are a coward. There's a lot of guys that are in front of you in the line, and one of those guys is Mark Briscoe. So if you want to get a chance with me, you have to not be a coward, and you got to go beat Mark Briscoe." And
So they
MJF
could have
says,
started the show with this promo. Then they could have done the Ricochet and Briscoe match where they did the world title match.
"Yeah,
And yeah, so very strange.
yeah,
Very strange.
yeah." So MJF, he makes fun of Briscoe. He said, and then Hangman kind of looks behind MJF and he goes, "Oh, I noticed that the Hurt Syndicate isn't here. So there's nothing stopping me from kicking your ass right now." And Hangman just and MJF kind of backs down doing MJF stuff. And there you go. Peggy mentioned in the chat, we had a little mini promo with Willow Nightingale. She's fighting Tekla tonight on Collision. That should be a really great match.
Oh, Tekla,
so they have
another great signing.
Yes, another one.
Scares the crap out of me.
You see have you seen any of the online vignettes? She released an online vignette, AEW did, and they basically start recording her when she's upside down, like the beginning of her entrance. And she cuts like 75% of the promo with the camera being upside down, and it looks like she's like hanging from a web from the ceiling, the way it's shot. And then as she starts to talk, the camera just slowly rotates, and the promo ends with her sitting on the stairs, like finishing the promo like regular looking.
I have to see that.
Very cool.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the YouTube.
I saw it on Twitter, but yeah, I think it was an online exclusive. I think. I don't remember it on the Dynamite show, but I saw it on the socials, and I was like, that's just a really cool presentation of how that looked. It was like a slow turn from upside down to the regular viewing as she's cutting the promo and walking towards the camera. And then by the time it stopped where she was regular, she was sitting on the steps in a stairwell finishing the promo. And I was like, that was cool. Like, that was a very cool looking thing to me. I liked it. And I agree, Ophelia. Willow's promo was super fun. She mimicked Tony Khan in it to get a laugh. Who doesn't love Willow? I think she's going to lose tonight. I think Tekla should beat her, to be honest. But yeah, that match is going to kick ass tonight. And then we had our main event. Mark Briscoe, Ricochet. Look, we don't have to break down this match. It was a good match. It's a match you would expect Ricochet and Mark Briscoe to have. Two great in-ring competitors. It was really good. Mark Briscoe did get the win. He hit the J Driller at the end of the match to get the win. But it was really post-match where Briscoe gets on the mic. He calls MJ, and Mark Briscoe, again, was terrific here in this promo. He is really, really performing at a level that is top guy shit. Grabs the mic, calls out MJF. He says, "You brought my brother's name up once, shame on you, but you brought him up twice." And he goes, "That's shame on me if I don't obliterate your ass." And he goes, "I've never felt like this before. I need help, man." He goes, "For the first time, I really feel like I may never see my brother again, because I know he's up in heaven chilling in that mansion. But if I kill Max in cold blood and I don't repent, because not a single cell of my body will feel remorse, I'm worried." And I was like, that's good shit, Mark. That's good shit, Mark. And he goes, "So MJF, do me a favor and get out here right now." MJF's music hits. He doesn't come out. We see him on the Tron. He says, "I'm not coming out there. I'm not like you. I'm not an idiot. I'm not a bumpkin." He says, "You sound pretty serious. The funny guy routine has gone away." He goes, "But that doesn't mean I have to take you seriously," which I thought was a good line from MJF. He goes, "I think you're a waste of my time, Mark, but Seabiscuit says that I'm too cowardly to fight you. So I went to Tony Khan, and next week on Dynamite in the main event, it's you and me." He goes, "But that's if you make it to next week." And then this was all a ruse because MJF shows up behind Mark Briscoe, kicks him square in the penis. And then he gets on top of him. He mounts some punches. He grabs the mic. He goes, "Who's the coward now?" He's yelling in the camera, "Huh, Hangman? Am I a coward now?" And then he grabs the mic and he's spiking the mic. Yeah, the Seabiscuit line always makes me laugh too. He's spiking the mic on Briscoe, really beating him down. He's choking him. He asks, you know, and then it looks like he's going to he puts the Dynamite Diamond ring on. It looks like he's going to knock him out. Hangman's music hits. Hangman comes down. He hits a big boot on MJF. It looks like he's setting him up for the buckshot, but MJF gets turned around, and it looks like Mark's going to hit him with the J Driller, but he sneaks out and he sprints as fast as he could up to the top of the ramp. Very coward-like, like you said, Drew. Very cowardly. He's not a coward, though, apparently.
Yeah.
And that's how the show ends, with Mark Briscoe and Hangman kind of raising Mark Briscoe's hand and putting him over to the live crowd. I liked the end sequence here. I just felt like, again, how the world title match doesn't main event. I just didn't understand it. Even with what happened after that, I felt like it could have been done in the middle of the show. But again, a very up and down Dynamite. I wanted to just talk about it first to get it out of the way so we could really dive into SummerSlam for the rest of this show. Yeah. Things I loved on the show. The world title match is excellent. That women's tag match was excellent. Some of the promo work throughout the night, Briscoe, MJF, Willow, good stuff. And then some of the stuff just wasn't that great. The Christian Cage thing, I just did not hit. It looked like he was struggling through it, which is unlike Christian. It just looked like Christian was having he cuts great promos. We've seen him cut hundreds of great promos. It was just very odd. But a very up and down Dynamite.
One other thing on the AEW side that I just want to mention before we get into SummerSlam is speaking of down things, I don't know what the hell is going on with Bowens and Caster, but I am not a fan.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So on Collision, I didn't get to watch Collision.
I haven't watched the last couple Collisions live, I will say. I have not.
But Max did another open challenge, and then it was Anthony Bowens again.
Oh, so this is like 2 times in a row now he's answered? Or 3?
It was twice. But it wasn't in a row.
But this is the second time he's answered.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just very confused by Anthony Bowens is like a pure babyface.
Yeah.
And Max Caster, an absolute douchebag heel, gets better reactions than him.
Well, Max Caster has gotten himself very over with this Best Wrestler Alive gimmick.
And
go ahead.
I don't understand how after the split and the match at Revolution, all of a sudden Max was the one on TV every week.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what it was. Is Max? We didn't see Bowens for a while, and then they gave this repackaging of Bowens, which I like the repackaging. I feel like Billy Gunn. And then immediately
they started tension with Billy Gunn.
I feel like Billy Gunn should have just not been involved from the start. You should have just focused on Anthony Bowens, personally. But even with the repackaging, which I think is a good repackaging, new song, new gimmick, the 5-tool player, the pride of AEW, like I'm all in on that shit. That leans into, his pride of that leans into that. He's a former baseball player. Like it leans into everything that he is. But then they've really just not done anything with him. They really just haven't done anything with him. He hasn't been in anything.
And I'm worried about it.
Yeah. So hopefully they kind of correct course here. But yeah, I don't know. One thing, because we are going to be transitioning into SummerSlam, I do want to talk about, did you see Cody Rhodes' comments about AEW?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We're going to talk about this real quick. So Cody Rhodes was on the Bill Simmons podcast on The Ringer. And they were talking, and Bill Simmons asked him about AEW. He flat out asked him about leaving. And Cody actually, for the first time, answered it. Didn't go into a ton of detail, but he answered it long-windedly, in my opinion. And I have the quote here. This is the first time, because Cody's been very professional for the most part, and he hasn't really talked about it to me, I feel like. So he was asked about it, and this is the quote from Cody. He starts it off by saying, "There's clearly bad blood." That was the first line. He goes, "There's clearly bad blood, but there's also clearly respect and love. In the end, the way I see it is, I felt disrespect. If I felt disrespected ever at WWE, that's one thing. That's a company that was built. That's the Yankees. Gross. That's the flagship of it all. If I ever felt at WWE that I was a number on a sheet, maybe. But feeling disrespected at something I built with my friends, that we built, feeling disrespected there, I wouldn't stand for it. He says, Brandy and I both, and then he says, I'm so blessed to have her. It's one of those things where he says, fuck it. I did way more here than you think, and you're going to find out the moment I'm out the door. I don't believe in the cold-hearted, backstabbing type of revenge. The greatest revenge on earth is success. I felt like we were sitting on something wonderful, something great, a huge potentially what I was doing with the American Nightmare as a bad guy, as a good guy, something in between. We're sitting on some magic. If I'm not going to do it in the house that I literally, with Matt, Nick, and Kenny built, then, buddy, I'm going elsewhere. And that was the whole quote, which I think is the most he's ever talked about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't go into super duper detail about actually what the dissension or disrespect was. But this is the first time to me, and I think it just is the first time that he's opened up and he said there's clearly bad blood, which means there's still bad blood. Still. And then he goes in and says there's respect and love and all whatever. Mentions Matt, Nick, and Kenny by name multiple times. Says this is the place that I built. Doesn't mention Tony Khan at all. Doesn't mention Tony Khan at all.
That's where the bad blood is, I'm assuming.
Specifically just mentions Matt, Nick, and Kenny. But I thought this was the most in-depth we've ever heard Cody talk about this. And I just wanted I didn't know that if you had seen it or not. Clearly you haven't. I have not watched the interview in full. I'll be doing that today because I'm a regular listener of the Bill Simmons podcast. He's a Boston guy, so I support that guy.
Was this done this morning?
I believe the interview was released yesterday. Or it might have been done this morning. I actually saw it this morning, so maybe it was released last night or this morning. I don't know. Bill Simmons is on the West Coast time in the Ringer, so it might have been released today. I didn't even know Cody was going to be on there. I hadn't seen it promoted. Like I said, I listen to the Bill Simmons podcast regularly. He usually does 2 a week. But Cody's on this one, and it's live in studio too. I think there's video of it too. I don't know if the whole thing's released, but the clip that I saw was Cody in the Ringer studio talking to Bill Simmons, like sitting across from him. I usually listen to the podcast form of it. But yeah, that's what he said about his time on leaving AEW as he went that in depth with it. So what do you feel now that this is the first time you've heard it? How do you feel about that?
Well, he didn't mention the crowd booing him at all.
He said
not a fan.
He said he felt like there was huge potential doing what he was doing as a bad guy, as a good guy, or something in between.
He wasn't a bad guy.
He wasn't, but I think they were leaning that way. I think he was going to turn heel. I think he was going to turn heel soon.
Well, he didn't, but I thought he didn't want to turn heel.
Yeah. I think that was what they said. But, I mean, again, according to these, it looks like it says, I felt like there was huge potential with the bad guy, the good guy, or whatever it was in between what they were doing with the American Nightmare gimmick.
Well, I mean, listen. I was part of the first crowd to truly boo the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That was Grand Slam 2021. That made it cool to boo Cody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he didn't recover from that. Every crowd pretty much booed him after that.
Yeah. The full interview is expected to be dropped later on today. And this is an article from this morning. So the full interview will be out sometime today. So it could be out as early as when we get off the air here, in like an hour and a half or so. But it's going to be released today. But that clip was from this morning. They posted it. Actually, no, they posted it last night at 8:05 p.m. Oh. So quite the timing. But that's how they released
And
it.
posted the AEW part.
Yeah, of course.
Interestingly.
But that's the Ringer, though. That's not WWE. I mean, I don't know if WWE had, say, released it at this time, but the Ringer released it. WWE didn't. And WWE, at least at that point, didn't like retweet it or promote it. This was strictly the Ringer releasing it, saying, tomorrow we're talking to Cody. But here's the clip of him actually talking about what led to the departure in AEW for the first time, like him going into it a little bit.
That's the game. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure in some way he's felt slighted, and a lot of people have, which is why they're not there anymore. Ricky, Rusev, Andrade. I mean, Private Party soon.
Right?
People who've just not been treated as well as they should have.
Yep.
Jade, Mariah. I mean, I don't want to talk about. Let's not mention that, please. But it's just I'm sad that he felt that way. Unfortunately, I feel like I may have to just go back and listen to this whole thing because there were clearly things that were being done on television, like the Anthony Ogogo stuff, that was just complete crap and not good, and the crowd reacted accordingly. And if that was what led Tony Khan to do certain things that upset Cody, well, that's the nature of the business. You go where the crowd is going. And if the crowd is booing you, you're not doing something right. If you're not a heel. If you're a heel and they're booing you, that's your job. You're supposed to get booed. But if you're a babyface, obviously I can understand like his shades of gray with the like Homelander thing that he started in AEW.
Yeah.
Because that's a superhero, but it's not a good superhero. But his booking was not reflective of that at all. He was always facing heels. He was always, and even Brandy too. Whenever Brandy was involved in things, Brandy was always facing heels. He was always facing heels.
Yep.
So that's the nature of the business. If you're a babyface and the crowds are not into it, the booker's got to do things to try and get you over. And it's nice that he mentioned nice things about Matt, Nick, and Kenny. But that's how it works.
Yeah. I to me, the way that was answered and what he said, that tells me that the bad blood was not between Cody, Matt, Nick, and Kenny. That the clashing and what was going on was clearly between him and Tony. Because Cody probably felt, hey, I'm Cody Rhodes. Like, my character should be at a certain level and we should be taking care of business, whatever way you want to go. And I think Tony we kind of saw with the and again, making the decision, and Cody has openly said that this was a bad decision, but the decision that he could never go for the AEW title again was not a good decision.
Oh yeah.
It was a terrible decision. But it's wrestling. You could have found a way to get around that and get back to it. It's wrestling. But yeah, clearly there was the viewpoints between Cody and what feels like Tony Khan, considering he wasn't mentioned by name here. Clearly they were not on the same page, and it clearly was the main reason why it feels like Cody left, because he looked at it and said, you're not going to treat me the way that I feel like I should be treated on this show. So I'm going to go there and I'm going to prove to you who I am. And, I feel like it's worked out for everybody. Kind of like, don't get me wrong. Cody leaving at the moment was like, holy shit, like this company wouldn't exist if it wasn't for, like, Cody was the guy they needed to kind of get over the hump to get to this point. You know what I mean? Like that name recognition of Cody. And Cody's
Jericho
leaving.
And Cody, really. That was
Yeah. Like Jericho was the right guy to be the first champion because of that. But like, Matt, Nick, Kenny, and they got Tony, who is the business guy and going to be the guy that runs the shit, kind of. But Cody was the name they needed. That was, oh god, this is Dusty's kid. This is WWE. Cody Rhodes, like he's a worldwide name. Without him, AEW doesn't probably happen. And then a couple years later, for us to all find out that Cody's leaving, it was like, what? Cody's leaving? Like, he started the fucking company. What are you talking about? He's leaving.
He was part of the reason why, there's like hardcore tribalism between WWE and AEW too, which is that part always made me laugh because, the smashing of the throne and all the shit that he was doing to get, Daddy Paul's attention. It just turns out, I guess it was really just to get his attention so that he'd go, oh, hey, eventually I'll be back here. But I think there's such contention between AEW and WWE fans, tribalist fans, and Cody played a huge role in that.
Yeah, I guess.
I just find that funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of, to me, when he first left, I was always like, oh, he's going to do the thing where he's going to go travel the world, do a lot of indies. He's going to go to Ring of Honor. He's going to go to New Japan. He's going to become a top guy around the world. And then WWE is going to be like, oh shit. Okay. Kind of like the Drew McIntyre thing a little bit, although Cody was different because he asked for his release. He wasn't released. But I felt like that's what he was going to do. And then he started, he helped start this company. And I'm like, oh shit, he's not going to do that. He's just going to start a rival company. And he's going to be the guy that is just the head guy of the rival company, which he was for a little bit. And then it was like, oh, all right. And now he's been the top guy in WWE for 2 years. Like, and it's been, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I thought it was very interesting, as we haven't heard. I know there's more to the story, and I would love to even hear deeper into like actually what happened, but I don't think we ever will. I think Cody has a certain level of respect that this is as far as I think he'll go, admitting that there's still bad blood, but there's also respect and love, and mentioning the 3 guys that he still is probably clearly friends with and still talk to. And I feel like this is as deep as we're going to get, publicly, at least with Cody on AEW, but I thought it was more insight than we have ever gotten to this point. So
yeah,
I at least wanted to touch on that before we make the transition over to the biggest party of the summer, Drew. This weekend, MetLife Stadium, New Jersey, 2-night affair. We have SummerSlam, 12 matches on the show, 6 matches per night. And we're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give our predictions, and we are going to get after it here. Overall, when I look at this card, I think it's a very strong weekend. In my opinion. Night 2 is way stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Than night 1. Way stronger. But there are things I'm looking forward to on each night. So we're going to dive in. We will start with night 1, and then we will kind of make our way across this card.
Oh, sure. You have a list of what's...
I have the list of what's on each night. I do.
Okay, good. Sure. You do that, and I will pull up the graphic.
Beauty. Drew is home. Drew cut a promo on social media last night saying that he is back in the States. So I was actually going to start with that match just to get it out of the way, because who the fuck cares about Jelly Roll? But
same.
Yeah, there was some nervousness. You did it the wrong way. You put it under the wrong thing, so it's underneath us.
Oops. Wait.
Yeah.
Well, we can just. Oh wait.
Yeah, because you have to put it
on background.
Yeah, you got to put it under overlay. Shit. So you're gonna have to re-download those on the overlay.
Well,
but either way, there was some nervousness about this match in WWE. There were reports that even as early as the beginning of the week.
That's good enough.
Yeah,
we're not covering the faces this time.
As early as the beginning of the week, there were some reports that WWE was starting to make contingency plans for this match, because Drew McIntyre was in England over the weekend for a wedding, and he lost his passport, and he couldn't get back into the States.
Yeah.
And so people were nervous that he wasn't going to make it, but last night he released a video on social media saying, you guys are WWE shills. And nobody gives a fuck about Jelly Roll. This match is pointless and a waste of time of Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. An absolute waste of time. With that being said,
who's shills?
Fernando and Sandy are putting over Jelly Roll like he's actually good. Like, give me a fucking break. But anyway, absolutely. Like, you know, you don't have to get on your knees for WWE all the time.
Well, I think Sandy is more. He's an NXT shill. He's not really.
But it's a joke that this is an actual match happening at SummerSlam while people like Carmelo Hayes and a bunch of other people are sitting at home. It's a fucking joke. But anyway. So, yeah, this match is happening. You know what's going to be
hopefully this is like a middle of the card so I can get up and pee.
The saddest part about this, Drew, is but the saddest part about this, Drew, is it's probably going to be entertaining and I'm going to probably end up liking it and it's going to piss me off. But it is what it is. I mean, to me, Jelly Roll is going to pin Logan Paul, right? That's what the fuck is happening here. Jelly Roll is 100% getting the victory by pinning Logan Paul. Randy Orton hits an RKO. Randy Orton hits an RKO on Logan Paul. Jelly Roll does the choke slam, and he pins him.
In order to give a clear perspective on this, I'm going to have actually had to have watched anything involving this, and I have not because I don't give a fuck. So it's just, you know, Logan Paul. Don't get me wrong. We know how we feel about him personally, but he's good at this shit. But him with the other celebrity, I get. But I just feel like this is the best we have at SummerSlam for Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. This is the best we have. Can't do anything else with these guys. And I get it. Jelly Roll is going to bring in a lot of eyes that are not WWE eyes. It's going to get mainstream attention. He is a mainstream musical artist. He's a big deal. I get it. But I just look at it and I just go, why is Carmelo Hayes not on SummerSlam? Carmelo Hayes has been an afterthought for the last 3 months. But we have time to make a 4-week program for fucking Jelly Roll. We have time to do that, but we don't have time to get a guy like Carmelo Hayes or any of the other really talented people that are not on SummerSlam. No LA Knight. No Carmelo Hayes. Plenty of women not on the show. Like Triple H. Now Bailey.
Triple H. Yeah, Bailey's not on the show. Triple H and this WWE Unreal thing is glowing and saying how much the women are better than the men. They just get it more than the men and all this stuff. Okay, cool. You couldn't find another match for the women on the card? We got to fit this guy in that has nothing to do with anything? Not even good at music? In my opinion. If you like country music, what they call country music nowadays, in my opinion, there's something wrong with you anyway. But I'm not gonna go that route. It's just a terrible form of music. But it is what it is. Anyway. But I don't care about this match. Like, again, this will be the most viewed. Like, don't get me wrong. When Jelly Roll hits the choke slam on Logan, it will be the most viewed clip of the weekend, easily. And that's realistically why they're doing this.
That's why this company sucks.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't give a shit. I hope everyone loses.
Well, I have no problem with Drew and I have no problem with Drew and Randy, but it's just, again, there's so many talented people. And Bailey is on the verge of not being on Mania and SummerSlam.
They did make a point though on Raw to kind of like. They're leaning into, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if something is going on. Maybe she does end up turning.
Yeah. But we'll continue. But that's where we're at here. Trash. But I expect Randy Orton and Jelly Roll to win. And I'm sure the WWE marks will pretend it was actually good. But, you know, it is what it is. So, no, because Bad Bunny was actually really good for Nando. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bad Bunny actually, like, was a good wrestler and like had good matches and like was good. But anyway, so we have ourselves, you know what, let's dive into, we have just a straight up singles match. It is Sami Zayn going up against Karrion Kross. Very glad that these guys are on SummerSlam, that they got this match on SummerSlam. And I would say it's a gentleman's agreement. That if Karrion Kross wins, Sami Zayn has to say the words that Kross was right. However, if Sami wins, Kross needs to say that he was wrong about Sami. That sit down that they had on Raw, I loved it. I really loved the sit down that they had on Raw with each other. I thought it was very good between these two guys. Sandy, I agree with you. I think Kross needs to win this match more than Sami. Sami is at a level where he could lose every match, and everybody's still going to be rooting for that guy to win the next one. So for me, it's the Mick Foley, it's the Daniel Bryan effect. Sami is untouchable to me. I've said it for a long while now. I think Sami is winning the Royal Rumble. I think he's going to beat Seth at WrestleMania next year to win the title. I just feel like Sami can lose this match. It doesn't hurt him an inch. And Kross could really use a victory. However, we don't officially know whether Karrion Kross is re-signed or not. I am under the assumption that he is. But you know what happens when you assume. I think he is re-signed, him and Scarlett. But we don't know for sure. But I'm picking Karrion Kross because I just feel like he needs it more. That's where my mind's at. But I've liked what they've done with these two guys.
And because he needs it more, I'm picking Sami Zayn.
It's fair. It's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, as much as I've genuinely enjoyed Kross, follows me on Twitter now, by the way. That's very interesting. I really like him a lot, and I've gone to bat for him the past few months because a lot of people were doing the same thing to him that they were doing to Jey Uso earlier this year.
Yep.
And I think that's really unfair because when a crowd is into a person and they cheer for that person and they say they want that person, and then they go to the following week's show and a completely different crowd in a completely different state is doing the same thing, and it continues to build and internationally as well when they go overseas, it means that people want to see this guy in a more prominent position.
Absolutely.
And it means that as a wrestling company that caters to fans, that's who should be featured more, because that's what people want to see, regardless of how many people like to get on Twitter and social media and write soliloquies about how much they know the business so much when they've never done a single thing in it except cover it, either as a journalist or as, a person who just has a Twitter account and a big following. This is what the wrestling business is supposed to be. A person gets cheered, that person gets pushed because people want to see that person.
Mm-hmm.
So Kross defines that, just like Jey did earlier this year. That's why Jey was the right choice to win the Royal Rumble, in my opinion, because every single crowd yeets like crazy.
Yeah.
And that's, the booking should be reflective of that. So Kross's booking should be reflective of people wanting him.
Yeah.
And it's not for some reason.
I will say, for all the negativity and the things that we critique Triple H about, one thing in that WWE Unreal show that I thought was refreshing was how much Triple H listens to the people in that creative room with him. Because Triple H, when they were showing leading up to the Rumble and into Mania, Triple H thought that CM Punk should have won the Royal Rumble, and he thought that CM Punk should have won that triple threat match at Mania. And Triple H listened to the other people in Michael P.S. Hayes was the guy who said that he thought Jey Uso should win the Rumble because he was hot, and you got to strike when the iron is hot sometimes. And Triple H went with him. Triple H went against what he thought should happen and went with Jey Uso. And then in the main event of Mania, Triple H right away was really adamant that CM Punk, even though Heyman in the turn was planned, still he thought CM Punk should have overcame that and won that match at Mania, and he was talked out of it by the people in that room. And I do think that that is the one thing that I've noticed the most with Triple H and this Unreal show is how collaborative he is with the people in that room. And it's refreshing because we know the other guy wouldn't have, he might have listened to what they had to say, but if it wasn't what he wanted, it wasn't fucking happening. So to kind of see Triple H do, like, that's refreshing to me. That's all I'm going to say, you know, but I just wanted to throw that out because when you talk about that, about somebody getting over and them actually pushing the people that are getting over, that didn't happen before. In fact, before, if you got over and you weren't part of the plan of getting over, you got punished most of the time. You got punished because they were purposefully trying to get people to not like you and not be over. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. I just wanted to put that because what you're mentioning with Cross and how he's kind of lived stuff like that and done that, and now he's getting these opportunities. In the previous regime, he would have never gotten these opportunities, whether he was getting those reactions or not, because he wasn't part of the plan.
Right.
And I just feel like that is something that it just kind of shows where we're at with the leadership now, that it's at least a collaborative, like Triple H is willing to go a different way if there's a legitimate, you know, argument behind it and he can see it, you know? And I think that that's,
and it's okay. It's okay for a creative booker in a wrestling company to do that.
Yes, 100%.
Because when people were shitting on Tony for doing it in AEW, like, well, wait a minute, isn't that a good thing? Shouldn't
it is a good thing?
Shouldn't you want them to collaborate with the wrestlers? But apparently it was a bad thing when Tony Khan did it.
Well, it wasn't a bad thing that he was doing it. I think he let it get to a level that was, he was trying to be the nice guy too much. And he's clearly righted that ship and he's kind of, you know, doing stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so you're picking Sammy, I'm picking Karrion here. All right, good to go. I wouldn't be shocked if Sammy wins, let's be honest. But all right, so now we have a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. It is the Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, they have become quite the team. I'm enjoying their work. Raquel has really stepped it up in Liv's absence. She has been really, really good. And they are going against a team that wasn't even supposed to be a team for this long, Drew. I don't even think they were supposed to be a team at all. But the crowd has clung to them. The crowd is into it. I'm kind of into it too. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. We're talking about striking when the iron is hot, Drew. And I think the Judgment Day should retain. However, I think Charlotte and Alexa are leaving SummerSlam with these tag titles. I think they are going to do it. I think they are going to make the change. I just think the Alexa Bliss Charlotte pairing are getting really, really over. I feel like in the first time in her career, they've tried to make Charlotte a babyface before, but I feel like for the first time in her career, she's actually getting genuine babyface reactions from the crowd. Like the crowd is like actually behind her. And I just think in that WWE Unreal show, when she wins the Rumble, seeing the other women on the roster waiting for her to come backstage and cheering for her and hugging her and her being emotional and crying about it and talking about it while she's clearly, I just think things like that show a human side of Charlotte that we have not seen up until this little run that they're doing here. And I think it's actually getting Charlotte over with the crowd where the reactions are actually genuine. Not, oh, you're a babyface, so yeah, okay. It's like actually like, oh, we kind of like you a little bit now. And I think I think you can see it's affecting Charlotte. It's really good. It's really good. And like I said, I think the Judgment Day should retain, but I think striking when the iron is hot, I think Charlotte and Alexa are leaving with those belts, Drew. I do.
Well, I have started to genuinely like the team of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, which I never thought I would say. But it's yeah, I mean, sometimes, and this is, I think I said this either last week or the week prior. Um, it's amazing what you can actually accomplish with somebody when you're not obsessed with their father. And Charlotte being Charlotte, or really, I mean, I will say genuinely, Charlotte being Ashley, kind of for the
Yes.
first time ever,
Yes.
is way better than what they've ever done with her. I won't say what I won't say ever. I'll say when ever as a
Babyface wise,
babyface.
for sure. Oh, without
Yeah,
question. Without question.
ever as a babyface for sure.
Yes. Yes.
So like this version of Charlotte, good, very good. So
Yeah.
this is
I
me
agree.
saying this, the Charlotte hater.
Yeah. And we got people in the chat saying that Charlotte turning heel on Alexa and stuff like that. I don't think they're doing that right away.
Please don't.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I think we're going to get a run with these two together for a little bit, but eventually when it does happen, I think Alexa should turn on Charlotte.
No, I agree with that 100%. I think that's actually what should happen.
I think if this continues and Charlotte keeps on getting this actual momentum and genuine momentum of her as a babyface from the crowd, I think the play would be to turn Alexa and have Charlotte, because that would really make Charlotte an actual baby. Like for the first time in her career, I think she could be a top babyface, like a legitimate, genuine top babyface if they
should be doing the similar thing to MJF and Adam Cole. They should be doing very similar things here, where Charlotte is always the bad guy. She's always the one against the crowds and against good people. And Alexa would be like Adam in this case, coming in, making her more human, making her more liked, making the crowds cheer for her. And then Alexa is the one to do the turn, just like Adam did.
Yeah.
And that I think that type of booking would be perfect for them.
I agree. I feel like that's the way you do it. Again, I don't think this should happen anytime soon. Because if you want my opinion, I think Charlotte and Alexa would be a perfect WrestleMania match next year. I think that's a perfect one-on-one WrestleMania match next year between two big names. I think that they should run with them as a tag team for a good while here. Give them the tag belts. Let them go to NXT, Raw, SmackDown, defend everywhere. They're over. They're two top people in the division, both former just give it to them. And then you do the turn down the line and you build to them against it. I think that's what they should do. I love what you said about making this that. Yeah, this is the first time we're seeing a real human side of Charlotte. And Alexa is the catalyst to pulling that out of her. And Charlotte's going to do this transformation where she's just happy and fun and she's being herself and everybody's digging it. And then her best friend, who is the one that got her that way, just stabs her right in the back. Mm-hmm. And then that's
this the way reason too. I think the better thing to do is not have them win here, because
I would rather them not win, but I just feel like they're gonna do it.
I feel like not having them win here and rebuild themselves together to go for it again down the line, I think would be a way better thing to do than just hot shot it to them right now.
That's fair, because they go ahead.
Go ahead. You finish that thought.
Well, I was going to say, they have that shirt that says "We're not friends" and all that stuff. I think eventually they're gonna tell each other we're friends. Like they're gonna, hey, we're friends.
And it shouldn't be from a tag title win.
No, but I feel like what you're saying, if they were to lose this, and then they're kind of looking at each other like, well, where do we go from here? And then they kind of make the decision like, no, we're friends. Like, we're friends. We like this. We're going to go and get those titles. And they kind of even get a stronger bond, and then eventually win the world titles later on, the tag titles. And then you have the build for a little bit where they have a good run with it. And then, in my opinion, in our opinion, should be Alexa's that, I think that would be a good way to do it. And I do think that Judgment Day should really hold those titles until Liv comes back. But
so this is exactly what we're going to talk about AJ and Dom after this.
Yeah, we can't. Well, that's in night 2, so we will later.
Night 2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I can separate that. Regarding the Roxanne and Raquel here, I don't really see them losing right now if they're going to contend. I just want to mention Dom here specifically because of Roxanne. The Romeo and Juliet thing that they're kind of doing right now with them is, I think, integral to playing a role in the titles being lost eventually when Liv comes back. I think Liv is going to be, or should be, the reason why they lose those titles. Similarly, like how you just said, like you don't think that they should have lost any titles while Liv is gone. I agree with that, because I think Liv should play a crucial role in that when she returns, because it's very clear, judging from what happened on Raw. I don't know if you would picked up on this when they did the backstage segment with Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And they had already lost on Raw, and Finn was like, gassing them up and making them feel good and stuff. And he looks over to Roxanne after they say, "Oh, you want to play video games?" And then he looks over to Roxanne a little bit, and they share this look that's like, these two are in cahoots. Something's going on here. And it's very much, I think, a slow burn into Liv coming back and there being total chaos and Judgment Day disbanding. And I think Liv is going to be. We originally thought that Finn and Liv were in on it.
Yeah.
But it did seem like that was what was maybe the original intention.
Yeah.
But they've moved away from that.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Finn was, when Liv was there, Finn was very much not happy with anything. And as soon as she's gone, he is like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I think Liv plays a crucial role in here.
Yeah.
Down the line when she comes back.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So Fernando, there were times in this Judgment Day run that I agreed with you, but I'm going to be honest with you. What they're doing right now, I am more interested in this Judgment Day currently and the prospect of what happens when Liv comes back more than I have been in a while. Like I am all in on the Judgment Day right now. I am digging what they're doing when it comes to the Judgment Day. So there were times, don't get me wrong, where I felt that way. We're like, wow, this they're still a group. But I don't like the hate. I don't like the hate when it comes to the Judgment Day. Like, this is a group that has been together for over 3 years now in some form of iteration. The Judgment Day has existed for over 3 years now. And
none of the original members are even in the group at this point.
No, not anymore. But they have lasted this long, and they have remained relevant, and they have changed iterations, and they have remained interesting and entertaining throughout. There have been dips where it's like, what the hell is the Judgment Day doing? But overall, like, I disagree with that comment, because I think that this is the most interested I have been in the Judgment Day in a while, in a long while, probably since the Liv was doing the thing when Rio was out. That was probably the last time I was super interested in it. as much as I'm interested in it now.
And now they're kind of mirroring that with Roxanne.
100%, 100%, 100%. And the Finn just being a little shithead, and he's the puppeteer of what's going on here, and the social media aspect where they're always like shouting out Liv with the titles and the big smiles. We're thinking about you and all that. I'm in. I think it's just really well done. It's just, they're doing good stuff. All right, let's continue along. We have ourselves a singles match for the WWE Women's Championship. This is the match. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's Tiffany Stratton, who is the champion, defending against the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. I want to say that Jade is the biggest betting favorite on night one to win. She's the biggest betting favorite on the websites. I don't know if I agree with that because, if I was doing confidence points, this would be one of the matches that I would be least confident in because if Naomi still had the briefcase, I would 100% feel like Jade was winning. And then Naomi would cash in on her.
Yeah.
But because Naomi no longer has the briefcase and she's the champion on the Raw brand, I understand why everybody thinks Jade's going to win this match, but I am hesitant of picking Jade to win this match, and I think I'm still leaning Tiffany to retain. Don't know why, don't know how, but I know Jade has to go film a movie soon, so she's not going to be around. I don't know if you want to strap her with the world title, if she's going to be leaving imminently to go film a movie right after. There's just something about this to me that I feel like Tiffany's going to keep it just for a little bit longer. Now, I don't know if Naomi's going to be, she's on night 2, so she's not wrestling this night, but she's still going to be there. And she still hates, Scott, that's a good one. Bianca is out there as well. I don't know if there's going to be some shenanigans, but a part of me right now, I can't pick Jade here. I just don't. I like Jade. This is easily the best that Jade has been presented since she's been on the main roster. She has been presented like it could be her time, like Fernando said. I just don't know if she's ready. Is Jade ready to be a world champion and hold down a brand? I don't know if she is. As good as she's been and as good as she's been presented, I don't know if she is well-rounded enough to be a brand's main champion yet. And that's kind of where I'm at, and that's why I'm hesitant. Why I'm hesitant.
I mean, I like Jade. I do.
I do too. And that is me. I like that's not anti-Jade. I like Jade. I just think right now, I don't know if I'm there yet.
And I guess that could potentially be why they decided to not have Naomi cash in on her. Although, I mean, if cashing in on her, then she would have not been the champion.
And she could have said, I did win the belt. I am a one-time women's world champion, and then it got taken from me, or WWE women's champion,
Right.
Dan, that's a good point. It's a good point by Dan in the chat. Welcome in, Dan. Hey. Look at Jade looks the part. Like, there's no question. I mean,
John Cena's doing a movie and he's a champion right now, so there's no telling why Jade can't do that.
Which is fair, but I do think John Cena is at a different level where, and we knew he was on limited dates coming into his final, so it's just a different thing to me.
I feel like what Scott said about Bianca, I feel like, so instead of it being Naomi cashing in and having her lose, I think maybe we get a Bianca heel turn.
I would not be against it. Not at all. It would be nice. I mean, Bianca is still, she just came back, and that pop, when she was a special guest referee at Evolution, that pop that Bianca got was unbelievable. So, like, I don't know. I can see it both ways because Bianca's a great baby face, and she's just like, the crowd loves her, and they always do. But when Bianca was around full time before she got hurt, she was getting booed heading into WrestleMania. She got booed at
Yeah.
WrestleMania. So, and then she went away because she was hurt. And so how much of that pop at Evolution, well, again, that everyone got pretty good pops at Evolution, but like how much of that pop at Evolution was, hey, you haven't been around and we're happy to see you back, as opposed to, and her finger is still broken. Like she's still healing. That was like a really bad injury. So she's still like in a, a finger brace or whatever it is. But that doesn't mean to say that somehow Bianca distracts Jade, maybe, or I don't know. I look at it and I go, would I be shocked if Jade Cargill wins the title here? Absolutely not.
No, I wouldn't be shocked
at all. I wouldn't be shocked at all. But I can't do it. I don't think she is ready. I don't think she is ready on the mic, in the ring. I don't think she is ready.
And then thinking about, too, because Jade is going to be out filming a movie, what do they do with the women's main title picture while she's gone? Because there's nobody to build a feud with.
Yeah.
Tiffany no longer has the title.
Yeah.
And we don't know how long Jade will even be filming this movie for.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then Bianca's still out. I mean,
3 months.
Yeah, on SmackDown, you could run back her and Tiffany if you wanted. Nia Jax is there. I'm trying to think, but who else is really there on SmackDown now that Naomi's not there and she's on Raw, and Bianca is not fully back yet? With Jade winning, who else is there to be that first
I feel like
real
maybe
feud?
1 or 2 people could transition over to SmackDown more when SummerSlam's over.
I agree. I think Rhea Ripley moving over to SmackDown would be the right thing to do.
That's one of them. That's one.
Yeah.
The other, I would say Bayley. If they don't have Bayley involved,
we're gonna get that's on night 2. We're gonna get into that because I think there is some potential shenanigans that could happen there.
But I am picking Jay. I'm picking Tiffany.
Oh, we're both with Tiffany on this one. When we both very well could be wrong on this. Big time could be wrong.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think it wouldn't shock either of us. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. They haven't announced when the draft is happening, Fernando, but everyone thinks there's going to be a draft sometime after.
It's not
but
happening.
I mean, even if there is a draft, does it fucking matter? They don't give a shit about the drafts.
I doubt they're ever going to do a draft.
They'll do the draft, and then 1 month later, everybody's on both shows, and they're saying it's some fucking loophole. And they can tell me all the time, every year, that they want to do a draft, and they could actually do a draft every year. I'm not going to give one shit about a draft until I actually see them go a full calendar year following the fucking draft rules.
Yeah, they did that. They did that in 2016, and they never did it again.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
It's not. Yeah, I have given up on any draft thing at this point.
Yeah. They just do it to pop a rating and get people excited for Raw and SmackDown 1 week, and then a month later, the big names are on both shows because the networks are bitching, and I don't care. Anyway, all right. What I'm assuming will be the opening match of night 1, potentially. It is a massive tag team match. It is Roman Reigns teaming with his cousin, his fellow bloodline member, Jey Uso. Yeet. Going up. What the hell is Paul Heyman taking a dump? What the hell is Paul Heyman doing in this? What is that face? Is he
looking at
that? Is he squeezing one out? What's he doing?
Trying not to laugh my ass off.
What kind of face is Paul Heyman doing there? The hell? Roman Reigns and Jey Uso going up against Bonkers. I think that's the WrestleMania match next year. I think that's the WrestleMania match for those two next year. Going up against, as Roman calls them, the Brawns, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Now on Raw, holy shit, did they light a fire under Braun Breaker's ass on Raw. They made it clear in a backstage segment earlier in the show and at the end of the show that Braun Breaker is basically the leader of this group, while Seth is very clear. Even Braun is referring to himself as the guy in charge while Seth is away.
The whole angle that they did on Raw.
Bronson Reed taking the
guys.
Sneakers. Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, I loved it.
The way that the show started with with Heyman trying to gas. Well, you know what? The funny thing is that it's not.
I
It's
don't think he's
being
gaslighting.
it's being presented as he's gaslighting Jay,
Yeah.
but he's actually right.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Roman, we've talked about this 100,000 times in the last 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Really, that Roman has not done a single thing
Nope.
to earn the respect of anyone.
Still hasn't even apologized to his tag team partner. So,
You know,
no
and we're just,
Nope.
it really is, it's like Heyman was like saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
It's really that Roman could, I mean, he very much could just abandon Jay again at some point. And I would believe it because he has no redeeming qualities right now. The only
Agreed.
thing that is different is that he is getting massively cheered.
Yeah.
He has not changed anything about
Yep.
himself. Not a
Nope.
single thing.
Nope.
So, um, this is a crazy. So I just want to mention that when it comes to Jay and Roman because I almost would like to see, and this is a long shot. I almost would actually like to see something happen in this match where Roman gets bossy because he's Roman and he's maybe the old type of like bloodline Roman from when Jay was the right hand man
Mm-hmm.
kind of creeps in a little bit. And there's just a part of me that actually hopes that it gets to a point where Jay's like, fuck you. I'm out of here.
It's fair. It's fair.
Like I almost, and it would be kind of like
I don't.
heelish of
Yeah.
Jay to do,
I don't.
but
I doubt that. Like you said,
something at some point needs to happen.
Well, I know Sandy had said it originally was going to be Braun and Roman. I disagree. I think this was supposed to be Roman versus Seth. Was the original SummerSlam plan was Roman and Seth. And then they kind of did the injury. The injury happened, which we're going to talk about, I think, when it comes to the next match, which will be the main event of night one, I'm assuming. Because I have.
Oh, well, no, I'm going to tell. So, but I'm going to tell you though. So that now I've said my piece on the Roman and Jay side. Now on the Seth Riders side, I am 100%. I am 100% in the belief that that's a real injury now. 100%. I don't know how they do this stuff with Braun Breaker right now. If Seth is just coming back.
Oh, I do.
No. This.
Oh, we are in the exact opposite mindset of this right here. We are in the exact.
Is the best version of Braun Breaker I have ever seen.
Yeah,
I have ever seen.
I don't disagree at all.
This version of Braun only exists because Seth is not there.
That's not true.
If Seth is but Seth is the leader when he's there.
Yeah. So Seth. Okay. Who do we? Roman's winning this match. Roman's not losing. Roman is not losing.
I actually think that Braun and the Braun. I think Braun are winning this.
Look, I appreciate you picking differently. There is no way in fuck that Roman Reigns is losing this match.
I think Braun is winning.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all. I would not hate it at all.
Something happened. Like I said, I think something happens with Roman and Jay where Jay's like, you're being a piece of shit. And I've been trying to help you. And I've been focusing on family and family first. And you're going to be an asshole. And this is going to lead to something even if it's not that Jay walks out. Something is going to happen there, and Braun, I think, pins one of them. I don't know who, but I think Braun Breaker is pinning one of them and winning it for them. I think that's
all right. So I think we are at completely different spectrums of this because you have fallen for WWE and you think that Seth is really injured. So
why would they do this with Braun Breaker if Seth isn't injured?
because when Seth comes back and he's the world champion, he's going to tell Braun Breaker to pipe the fuck down. You're not the leader. And it's going to lead to Braun breaking out of this group and becoming a star with Heyman. But anyway.
Yeah, but it's so early. They're doing that so early, though. Like that, you stretch that out a little bit.
Yeah, they are going to stretch it out because I think Braun's going to fall in line and he's going to be angry and quiet while Seth is... Because what's going to happen is they're going to lose this match. This is going to open the show and Roman is going to win because he's Roman. He's not losing. Even if Jay walked out on him, Roman would still win. Like, Roman's not losing. He's not. So this is going to open the show. Roman and Jay get the win. And then we get to the main event, which is the next match we're going to talk about. CM Punk and Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, they didn't have a graphic for that. I just realized that.
Well, all right, that's fine. So CM Punk and Gunther I'm assuming will main event night one. It is for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think regardless of what, I'm just going to give my pick right at the beginning. Regardless of what happens, CM Punk is winning this match. That's how I feel. Either way, whether there is some shenanigans after the match or there are no shenanigans after the match, I believe that CM Punk is beating Gunther and he will be the World Heavyweight Champion at the conclusion of that match, night one. Now, this is where we are going to differ because you just said that you are now 100% in the belief that Seth is actually injured. Whereas in the last 2.5 weeks, I have gone the opposite direction, and I am 100% of the belief that he is not injured as much as they are telling us. And we talked about it a little bit last week, but I've been watching WWE for a very, very long time. And when someone is hurt and someone is going to be gone for a long time, they do not continuously remind us that they are going to be gone for a very long time. And WWE has been shoving it in our face.
I have the graphic now, by the way.
Beauty. WWE has been shoving it in our face since the day that Seth Rollins got injured, that Seth Rollins is going to be gone. Heyman says it in every fucking promo. That Seth Rollins is going to be gone for a really long time. Last week on Raw, they did 2 separate vignettes about Seth Rollins. Where are the vignettes for Liv Morgan? She's gone for a long time too. Where are the vignettes for her? Oh, they don't exist because she's actually going to be gone for a long time. Becky Lynch and her social media videos, making sure that we always see Seth Rollins hobbling around on his crutches and his ankle brace and all this stuff. It is on the nose. It is too on the nose. Because what is going to happen is CM Punk is going to beat Gunther and Seth Rollins 100% is cashing in on CM Punk and leaving SummerSlam night one as the World Heavyweight Champion. It's why night 2 is more stacked, because the moment of the weekend that everybody's going to be talking about is happening on night 1 when Seth has the second heist of the century. That is why. And then you create the dynamic because they have, I agree with you in your opinion of Braun Breaker, this is the best he's ever been. Clearly. And now you have the dynamic of over the last couple weeks, Braun has asserted himself as the leader of this group. And now all of a sudden, Seth Rollins is back. And not only is he back as the leader, he's the fucking champ. And then he goes, hey, buddy, get back in line. And then you have Braun sitting back there like a time bomb, waiting, pissed off.
I do like that. I do like that booking.
That's what's going to happen.
What I
That
would like to, and I do now that you said they stacked night 2 more because the moment of Seth coming back, and that makes a lot of sense. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
That does make a
Yep.
lot of sense. I just really would like to see some very similar, because Heyman is involved in this. I would like Braun to continue with this kind of like Solo Sikoa thing from last year.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to get. I think we're going to get there. He's going to stay in line, and this group will still be happening. But Seth and him are they're going to clash a little bit, and it's going to be building and building and building. And Heyman is going to be trying to keep the peace. And then I think eventually Braun becomes a massive babyface out of this. And although I do like what Dan said, that if Seth is actually injured, which again, I just don't believe anymore because of not because of anything Seth's doing. It's really because of how WWE treats it. But I do like what Dan said, that if Seth is actually out for a while, I would love if Punk wins and then Braun somehow becomes the world champion. And if Seth were to cash in on Braun, that's a whole different other layer slash thing.
That's the old.
Yeah. And that's a whole angle you can do. But I mean, if you're telling me
Triple H loves reusing old storylines.
Look at that. There's not a problem with that. At the base of this is pro wrestling, guys. At the base of everything, there's like 15 different stories. They just tell them a million different ways. There's 15 core stories in the history of wrestling. Brothers turn on each other, best friends turn on each other. There's like probably not even 15. There's like 10 core wrestling storylines that they just tell a million different ways. So this is one of those storylines, and there's multiple ways that they could tell it. If WWE wasn't so in our face about Seth over and over and over again, dude, we've been watching wrestling for a long time. When someone is legitimately injured and not going to be on TV, they are out of sight, out of mind. We don't fucking talk about them. And they have nonstop talked about Seth. And I think it's because they're trying to repeat. He's not going to be around for a long time. He's not going to be around for a long time. He's not going to be around for a long time. So everybody is like, oh, well, Seth's not going to be around. Oh, shit, here he is. So I can't not think that way. I can't. They are being way too on the nose for me with the injury. They remind us every show that Seth is out for a long time, which tells me that he ain't going to be out for a long time.
I want this version of Braun Breaker for a little while, more than 2 weeks.
But I think we can still get this version of Braun Breaker, but I just think it creates another dynamic with him and Seth, because I do think the long-term play of this is they're going to make Braun Breaker the star. But I kind of felt that way once they aligned him. Like when it happened right after Mania, I was like, oh, Braun's with them? Like at the end of the day, Braun is going to be the Batista of this group. Like he's going to be the guy that becomes the main event babyface out of this group. You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of the vibe I got. And I think with that dynamic of, like I said, of Braun the last couple weeks being like, oh, well, Seth's not going to be around for a long time. What if Braun doesn't even know that the cash-in's happening? What if Seth
doesn't know?
That's what I'm saying. So if Seth comes back at SummerSlam, cashes in, becomes the champion, not only do you have the dynamic of Braun being like, okay, well, but then if Braun is like, hey, how come you guys didn't tell me? How come you guys didn't, like, oh, I'm part of this group. Like, you didn't tell me this was happening. And Seth is like, it's not your business to know. Or something like that. And then you create that dynamic of Braun being like, okay. And just kind of, and I just feel like
probably that's what's happening. But I really would just like to see this version of Braun a little while longer, a little longer. Maybe another month or so, where he's like, because it's only just on this past Raw 3 days ago that they kind of vocally said that's Braun is the leader while Seth is gone. So it's like which I think is on purpose.
because now next week on Raw, Seth is going to be back with the championship, and he's going to basically tell Braun, like I said, stay in line. Appreciate you being willing, but stay in line. And that's just going to create the tension that will slowly build and the bubble inside of Braun as it builds until we get the eventual pop and Braun loses his shit on Seth. And I just think that's probably the way you do it. Now, again, what Dan said, that would be a whole nother dynamic. That would be a lot of fun if they did it that way. But that would be if Seth is actually injured. And look, I think we're going to find out on SummerSlam whether it is legitimate or not. Because if Seth doesn't show up at SummerSlam, and if you want to switch the graphic to Punk and Gunther, you can. But if Seth doesn't show up to SummerSlam and we just get the flat-out match between these two and nothing happens other than that, then I think what you're saying and maybe even what Dan said, I think that's all in play then, because then I do think Seth might be out for a little while. But either way, Drew, I don't know where your head's at, and you know how I feel about Gunther, fucking living legend. I think Punk's winning this match either way. I think whether there's a Seth cash-in afterwards or Punk is... Are you frozen? Or you just...
No, I'm not frozen.
Oh, no. All right, wow, that was pretty good. You didn't even blink.
I was staring. I was trying to rearrange something. I was like... Yeah. It was confusing me, so I was like focusing on what I was doing.
Yeah. But I have CM Punk winning this match, Drew. I think this match is going to be great, by the way. But I have CM Punk winning this match and becoming the world champion no matter what. Whether he's leaving night one with the belt or there is the cash in, I think either way Punk wins.
I agree, although I would like, first of all, so I just want to say this. These American WWE crowds are fucking awful, man. Like, this you tapped out shit still happening,
bro. They have it incredible to me that they still chant that. First of all, it happened in fucking April, and second of all, he won the belt back.
Yeah, he's wearing the title right now. He is the champion
again. You saying you tapped out means fuck all to that guy.
I literally just wanted him to say. I just wanted him to take the belt off and to be like,
just lift it up.
I'm sorry. What did I do? Yeah. What did I do?
Do you remember when I won this back from your fucking hero? Remember when I made him pass out and tap out? What the fuck are you talking about? So stupid.
So dumb. But I could see this. Probably it's going to end up happening, and then the cash-in is going to happen. But like a Punk having to like build himself back up to, I feel like a loss here wouldn't hurt, because
he
then
just lost for the title against Cena. Just lost for a title.
But they can like the 2013 Cena of like, oh, I'm losing all my matches and then I come back and I win this and blah blah blah.
I don't need Punk feel like doing that though.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm tired of babyface, this type of babyface Punk anyway. I'm tired.
I mean, he could do it as a heel. He doesn't have to do it as a babyface.
Well, in a perfect world, I would love CM Punk to turn heel soon. He won't though, which is fine. And I love CM Punk anyway, but this whole I'm happy to be here, fucking you people are behind me. Shut the fuck up. Come on, man. You can be a babyface and not do that shit. Like, that's not who you are. It's not who you are. I don't know. I thought that SummerSlam was going to be the time Punk was winning the match. Anyway, I thought he was going to be facing Cena coming into this show, but they did it in Saudi instead, which is whatever. That's fine. But I thought Punk was going to beat Cena for the title here at SummerSlam, but they have him fighting Gunther for the other title. And I just think that is still in my mindset of what's going to, again, I think the cash-in is happening, and it makes more sense for Seth to cash in on Punk, because then you can just reignite that feud that's really never ended with Punk chasing Seth. And I do think Seth would probably, Punk would eventually probably beat Seth for the title at some point. But I don't know, man. I think Punk's winning regardless. That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where it feels like it's CM Punk's time. It feels like it's his time to me.
Yeah, I'm picking Punk as well. But remember too, Gunther was also involved with Seth and
That is true.
part of Seth's group earlier,
That is
a
true.
couple months back. So like this could really go any way.
Yeah.
Because I could also not easily, but I could see a scenario where Gunther actually wins and they do the cash in on Gunther instead.
You think so? Damn.
Because they could use Seth's group to attack Punk.
Yeah.
Have Punk lose. And then Gunther thinks, oh, well, everything's good. I'm done. I won the match. Here comes Seth now to actually cash in to make sure. So they attack Punk to make sure that Punk can't interfere and have Seth lose his cash in.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate that. Yeah, I just think Seth's cashing in. I just really
wins
think
this
Seth
match, Seth probably ends up cashing in.
But I'm leaning Punk because I just think it's an easy way to give Punk the world title and then take it right from him, like he did to Drew last year. I just think it's a little bit of comeuppance. It's a little bit of what goes around comes around to Punk. And it's his arch rival, really. It's really his main arch rival since returning has been Seth.
While Drew gets to have a match with Jelly Roll. Isn't that great?
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Sandy, have a good rest of your day, my friend.
And Drew, like I said, all leading up to their whole feud last year, it should be Drew that costs Punk a world title.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
Doesn't end up happening.
No. All right, that is night 1 of SummerSlam. We are now going to transition over to night 2, and I would assume that night 2 is going to open in what should be an absolutely insane 6-team TLC match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. 12 dudes going to be in. This is going to be fucking anarchy in the best way. It is the champions, the Wyatt Six, going against Andrade and Rey Fenix, going against DIY, Fraxium, the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits. This is just going to be wild. This is going to be absolutely wild. SmackDown actually has a very strong and what has been a well-built tag team division, and these 6 teams have been a integral part of it. Obviously, I know you're not the biggest fan, but the first half of it, Pretty Deadly was a part of it as well, but one of those guys is injured, so they're not in this match. If they were, they would obviously be winning it, but they're not in this match. The Wyatt Six just got these belts not too long ago. However, well, let me ask you, who do you think's going to win? Because I'm picking a certain duo, obviously, that I don't know if you're going to think the same as me. So I think
the Wyatt Six retain.
Oh, okay. I think Andrade and Rey Fenix are going to win. So there we go. That's good. I think Andrade and Rey Fenix are 2 stars that have, again, when you talk about lightning in a bottle, they put those guys together less than a month ago. They are getting some of the biggest reactions on SmackDown. Their matches have been highlights of the show, like the best matches on the show. This match, Shep, I fully agree. This match is going to be high spot after high spot after high spot. There's going to be utter insanity going on in this match everywhere. I don't hate the pick of the Wyatt Sixes retaining, especially considering they just promoted that thing where, Universal Studios and all that stuff. I think that
their own horror night thing.
Yeah, so it wouldn't shock me if they kind of lean into that as but I just think I don't know, a part of me thinks Andrade and Rey Fenix are going to steal this one. And they're going to put the rocket, because Andrade really hasn't done anything of substance since he's been back. And Rey Fenix has been just he's been good, but he's been floundering around since his debut on SmackDown. And I think we're all eventually waiting for Penta and Rey to get together for the Lucha Brothers, but I think that's not going to happen for a little bit. And I think the belts on them is a real good spot to put the belts on 2 guys that I think they think really highly of. So a part of me is leaning towards Andrade and Rey Fenix.
See, now the reason why I wouldn't pick them
taking the belt,
because of eventually Penta and Ray getting together and them winning the tag titles together, because I feel like it'll look weird as hell to not see Ray holding a tag team championship and next to him is not Penta.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I just don't know how long we're gonna wait before we see that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know where we're like when I feel like Penta, he wasn't on Raw. So I feel like Penta is obviously still over and still a big deal on Raw, but I think he's cooled down a little bit over the last month and a half. He's been somewhat involved in the Seth stuff with that group, but like I feel like he's been cooled down a little bit. He's not on the show every week anymore. He's not really doing substantial stuff to this moment. So I'm like, when are we going to get the Lucha Bros?
We need is after this is over, we need Ray to scuttle on over to Raw and have Penta and Ray be a dominant tag team on that division, because Jesus Christ, the Raw tag titles are not even being defended on SummerSlam.
No, they defended them on Raw Monday night. They defended them.
Against
the LWO, that was a great match. Right. It was a great match.
It was a very good match. Yeah,
but nobody thought the LWO was winning that match. Nobody. No.
Because you've got the LWO, the New Day, and Judgment Day, and Viking Raiders.
War Raiders.
Sorry, I still think of them as the old name.
And the Creeds. You got the Creeds.
Yeah, but they don't do like.
Yeah, they should. I don't know. I don't know why they treat them the way they do. They're they should be near the top of the fucking division on Raw. That's how good they are.
There's only actually 4 teams on Raw, and
well, do you count the Bronze?
The titles bounce between 3 of them.
Would you count the Bronze? Maybe after if Seth comes back, could we see the Bronze make a tag team run?
Possible.
They would be dominant.
I would like to see that.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's people, but they're not utilized as tag teams really in matches to go for the tag titles. They're just used in this throwaway tag match here and there instead of going for the tag titles.
Yeah. I don't know, but this match is going to be one of the better matches of the weekend. How can it not be, with the amount of TLC in general? And then 6 teams, dude. That is a lot of guys. There's going to be a lot of guys, a lot of crazy stuff going on.
I'll say legitimately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of these 12 guys are really predominantly high-flying guys.
Yes.
So,
yes.
This is going to be a crazy match.
Yeah, it should be. It's going to be wild. The spots that are going to happen are just going to be bananas. All right, let's move on. We do have a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. It is the champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, defending against AJ Styles. Drew, I'm going to be honest with you. I've loved this feud. I've loved it. I think AJ has been hysterical in this. I think Dom being a little shit and trying to not get cleared so he doesn't have to fight AJ. There's a nice wrinkle. AJ doing the jobs to kind of taunt Dom and stay close to Dom. I loved the 6-person mixed match that they had on Raw with AJ and the Kabuki Warriors against the Judgment Day. I thought that was a lot of fun. I've been digging this, man. I've been digging this feud. Did you see the video that Triple H posted on Twitter about the pop that Dom got in Mexico? The unedited crowd
but
pop?
I've heard everybody say
holy
that it was massive.
Shit. Wow. Gigantic pop. Dom is going to be the AAA heavyweight champion at some point real soon. But what are you feeling? Who's winning this match, Drew? You go first.
Dom.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I am.
And 100%. I think I say that for the same reason that I said that Roxanne and Raquel should retain. I think they all should still have their titles up until Liv coming back.
Really, I think AJ's winning this. This is one of the more confident matches I am. I am in this show, is I think AJ is winning. I think AJ is winning. I think AJ is gonna. I think what they should do is AJ should win, and he should basically do the John Cena United States title run on Raw with the IC title. Fight the young guys. You don't have to do an open challenge like that, but I think AJ in his last year and a half, 2 years, he's openly always said that he doesn't want to wrestle after 50. He's 48, almost going to be 49. He signed an extension with WWE, I think, to get him to that 50 marker. I feel like AJ Styles with the IC title, having great matches every week on Raw, fighting young guys, fighting fresh faces. I think that's the route they go. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of the matches I feel more confident in that I think AJ is going to win. See, I am disagreeing with you because I feel like the Judgment Day are losing all their titles at SummerSlam. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, is I think the Judgment Day are losing all their titles. Now, I don't think that was originally going to be the case. I just can't see Charlotte and Alexa not leaving with those tag titles. With the way things are going over there. And I feel like if they're going to win and take those belts, I think they lean in and Judgment Day loses all the belts, except for Finn. And then Finn is kind of the smarky fucking, kind of guy.
That's possible. That is possible.
But yeah, I have AJ winning. Here. And I think AJ is going to have his last kind of real run as a champion in WWE, and I think he'll have a lot of great matches. I would love if he did I would love if they just copied and pasted, and it was like, AJ, we're giving you the IC title. You're going to go have open challenges every week on Raw, and we're just going to have you have bangers with people. And AJ's like, all right. AJ's clearly still one of the best wrestlers in the world at almost approaching 50 years old.
Yeah,
he's clearly one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's openly said he would like to have one more match in TNA. I think it would be a great time if AJ was the IC champ going over to TNA and have a one last match against somebody for the IC title. That'd be cool. I'm okay with that. That's where my head's at. Don't hate the Dom pick at all. He's clearly over as hell. But I think AJ is going to win. That's where I'm at with this. So, all right, we're getting some disagreements here, which I kind of like. We're not on the same page all the time.
Match, I think.
Yeah, so I like it.
People.
I like it. All right, let's transition over to the United States Championship. This will be held inside a steel cage. It is the U.S. champion Solo Sikoa going up against Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu looking to regain the United States title. Obviously, we saw Solo win because of a debuting Tala Tonga and a returning Tonga Loa in the numbers game with Jacob and Saudi at Night of Champions. So we are having this in a cage to keep everybody out. But we have watched wrestling long enough to know that cage ain't going to be keeping everybody out. Not at all. I am expecting Tama Tonga to make his return at this show and be the deciding factor. And I think Solo Sikoa retains because I think Jacob Fatu rises up to the main event level after this match, and he is done with the U.S. title and done with Solo, and he goes up and up. And Solo retains, and I think we get the full Solo bloodline back together as Tama Tonga will make his return and be the deciding factor helping Solo to win.
Actually would like... So I agree. I do. We are in agreement here. I do think Solo retains. I would actually like to see Jacob go over to Raw.
I think that would be okay. Yeah, get him away from Solo, different shows. He still has the Jay and Roman stuff that they could lean into because he's their family members as well. I think Raw would create fresh matchups for Jacob. Yeah, I would not be opposed. I just feel like this is the last time. I feel like Jacob, look, John Cena was the U.S. champion at one point. I'm not saying nobody is above any titles, but I feel like Jacob is clearly at a level where he should be going for world championships soon as opposed to mid-card titles. And I feel like this is kind of the end of this feud. Put it on Solo, have Jacob kind of rise up and move
You
up the
have you
chain. Move
have
up.
you have Dom retain, and then you have Jacob move over to Raw, go after the
I don't.
Intercontinental
Yeah,
Championship.
yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. But yeah, I see Solo retaining. I think Solo with the U.S. title for a little bit here is the way to go. So I think this will be good, though. Clearly, do we
Oh,
think
yeah, it'll
Jacob?
be
Do
good.
we think Jacob jumps off the top of the cage?
No, not after what happened with Bronson. I think
It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. All right. Women's Intercontinental Championship. No disqualification. No count out. If Becky Lynch wins, Lyra Valkyria is not allowed to challenge for the title anymore as long as Becky remains champion. I'm going to be honest with you, Drew. This is the match I am looking forward to the most all weekend. This feud has been perfect to me. Every segment that these two, including Bayley as well, every segment that this feud has had, every match that this feud has been terrific. I have loved everything about it. But this has gone the way that we've been talking about this for months, Drew. This has gone the way that I thought it was going to go. With Lyra feuding against Becky, Becky beating Lyra, Becky and Bayley going after the IC title, elevating the IC title. And then I said, and at the end of this, Lyra will once again become the IC champ, and it will elevate her to superstardom as the IC champ. And I think there's two outcomes in this match, and I'm kind of torn because I don't know. I think Lyra winning clean and just becoming the IC champion is what I hope happens. However, I could see Bayley getting involved and maybe align. I know we talked about this around Money in the Bank time. I could see Bayley actually getting involved and aligning with Becky, or at the very least costing Lyra this match, and Becky keeps it. But with that being said, I'm going with my original gut from months ago. I'm picking Lyra Valkyria to beat Becky Lynch and once again be the IC champion. That's my pick.
I am once again going against you, and I'm picking Becky.
Because of Bayley?
Mostly because of Bayley, yeah.
I respect it. I think it's very much in play, especially after what happened on Raw, the tag title match a few weeks ago, and Lyra was kind of a dick to Bayley, and then Bayley with that sad interview in the back where it seemed like she was kind of going through it, not being on SummerSlam, not being on WrestleMania. Well, this is a good way for her, maybe not being in a match, but it's a good way for her being on WrestleMania, as if she comes out and does something dastardly.
There is also something that I have to disagree with you on this as well. Is I think this was perfect, the build between the two of these women, including Bayley, until Raw, because I did not like the segment between these two.
Oh my God, really?
No.
Wow, I'm shocked by that. I thought it was very good. I thought it was good like the rest of not as good as some of the other ones they had, but I thought I thought Lyra was excellent. The little dance
the Becky Stomper thing. It was like, what? What are you talking about? I didn't get that at all. And
I'm shocked.
The crowd has been behind Lyra.
Oh, big time.
They weren't really in this promo. It was kind of quiet. She was talking to a pretty quiet room.
Well, I think that was just the crowd of Raw. Raw was quiet that whole night to me. That crowd kind of stunk.
But not just that though. But then when she turns around, because she knows that Becky is planning a sneak attack.
Yeah.
Becky was just like standing there. It was weird. I don't know if maybe there was like a miscue or something, but it didn't seem like she was. It seemed like she was just like standing there with the kendo stick up.
Yeah,
and wasn't even paying attention because her back was almost turned because she didn't see Lyra come and go through the ropes and attack her. It's like, what why is her back turned to the person that she's about to attack? And the shoe thing. I mean, the shoes look nice, but like, what? The Becky
Yeah.
stompers?
Yeah, I liked him. I liked it. And she
It,
did that little like tippy toe like spin move. I was like, ah. I mean, again, I think Lyra.
the yeah,
I
it didn't go over. I think with a lot of people, like
I
most
think
of the feud has.
yeah, I think Lyra in this feud has elevated herself to a star in this company. I think she was in there with a months and months long feud with two of the all time greats, and Becky and Bayley, and she has stepped up to the plate and she has shown that she belongs with those two. And there have been segments and matches where she has outperformed those two. I do agree with you where I feel like of all the great segments we've seen, that the one on Raw was not as good as a lot of the other ones that we saw. But I do think the crowd just stunk in general on Monday. And also, yeah, I mean, I still enjoyed. I've kind of liked everything that they've done. I thought Becky getting her ass kicked with the kendo stick, and she tweeted the pictures of her back and the marks on it as just gnarly looking. This is no DQ. It's no count outs. This is going to be violent. There will be weapons. It's an easy way for Bayley to get involved as well with the no DQ stip. I'm not.
Right.
You're probably going to be right, and I'm probably going to be wrong because I feel like Bayley showing up is kind of written in the cards here. However, I think Lyra has become a star through this, and I think you have a chance to make her an even bigger star if she kind of overcomes it and is like the IC champion again, as kind of Becky and Bayley kind of move back up towards the main title. And then you have Lyra, who's become this star, kind of running the IC division still. I think, because I think, like I said, they've done the right job. They've elevated that title. That title matters. They've made a legitimate star, and she's done the work to become one, but they've made a legitimate star in Lyra. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of always thought that Lyra would leave with the belt.
Both of my thoughts of what could happen here are Bayley interferes either just to screw Lyra or to align with Becky. I don't see Lyra winning at all.
It's fair. Okay. All right. Then we are down to our last two matches of the weekend. We have a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Could be a weekend stealer here, as Naomi will be defending the Women's World Championship against two familiar foes, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I like that graphic, how Rhea's name is all in blue, Io's is all in red, and Naomi has the split. I think that's a nice looking graphic there. This match should be great. We've seen what Rhea and Io can do together plenty of times. That match that they were having at Evolution was an all-timer. And then Naomi cashed in and left with the belt. This is a big spot for Naomi. And to me, this is the easiest match to choose, at least the victor, as I think it is no question that Naomi is retaining. No question.
Agreed. We are in agreement here.
Yeah, but I do think that this match will be quite excellent with the three of these. You can put Io and Rhea against each other in some form of a three-way with anybody else. We saw it at Mania with Bianca. I'm expecting the same caliber of match here with Naomi. This is going to be fun. I could see this opening up night two if they didn't want to open up with the TLC. This would be a great night two opener as the women triple threat open night two of Mania earlier this year. I could see them doing the same thing here. Hey, ladies, go out there and have the best match of the weekend. I could see that happening, but this is Naomi's time. It's Naomi's first defense.
Yeah. No more Io and Rhea.
I would assume
we gotta split this.
I mean, listen, if they're going to put on matches like they did at Evolution, I don't give a shit how often they fight.
It's been all
really
year,
don't
though.
care.
Like, we got to have some
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm never going to complain about Io and Rhea going against each other because the quality of matches they put on is just...
Oh, I mean, it's excellent. Yeah, but like at some point,
every match they have is better than the last one they have, and that says a lot because they are world-class matches. Io Sky, for my money... is probably, I don't even know if there's probably, she's the best women's wrestler in the world in ring. Like, no, There's not even a debate to me of how good she is in the ring. Like, it is insane how good she is. And Rhea Ripley, all three, it's just, this match should be one of the best matches, if not the best match of the weekend. I love what they're doing with Naomi. And Naomi, that belt is not going anywhere. Naomi's holding that belt for a while. Naomi will win this match. How, though? Now, do you think this is
caution?
Correct. Do you think this is one of those things where Naomi is it one of those things where Naomi, they do the typical trope that we're seeing a lot in triple threats where Io hits the moonsault on Rhea, or Rhea hits the riptide on Io, and Naomi comes in and throws the other one out and wins? Or do we think that Io and Rhea are too focused on each other? And now, like, how do we?
This is the only triple threat, right? On the whole
Yes,
SummerSlam?
the only triple threat.
Yeah, that's probably what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. But either way, I think it's going to be quite good. But yeah, Naomi is the biggest betting favorite on night 2. She's the biggest betting favorite on night 2. I believe she's tied with the biggest betting favorite of the whole weekend. If you're into that type of thing. Her and Roman Reigns are the 2 biggest betting favorites heading into the weekend. So, all right. And then it's the main event. It is now a street fight. So there are shenanigans galore. It is for the undisputed WWE Championship. It is a rematch from night 2. Why does John Cena's mouth look like that?
Why does Cody's mouth look like that?
Yeah, but it looks fake on Cena.
His whole face looks fake.
It's very bizarre. He looks anyway.
I mean, you've seen all the graphics. There's a lot of like, look at Punk. Look at Punk. Come on.
Yeah, but that's a smart. But that's a smirk I've seen CM Punk do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it looks like his face is reversed. You know?
Yeah. You think they used AI? They did AI in this?
There's something going on, because there's a bunch of graphics here where people look at Alex Shelley's face.
Look at Dawkins. Andrade.
Look at
up there.
Andrade. Yeah, it's like they've been doing this for a while now, where like a bunch of their graphics just have this like a wax figure look.
Yeah.
For the person, and it doesn't look great. It really doesn't.
Yeah. So it is a rematch from the night 2 main event of WrestleMania. Dreadful main event at WrestleMania. One thing I am certain is that this match will be better than that one.
I hope so.
Yes, because if it is not, good God. But yeah, so we okay. What the fuck is happening in this match? I think a month ago I would have told you they're doing a double turn in the match, where Cody's going to win the belt, but he's going to do it heelishly, and John Cena then is going to be the big. Because we are now at the point where we are in the last quarter of this year of John Cena's last run here. We are down to the last quarter, August to December, the last 4 months. This is it. We're almost approaching single digits on the countdown. This is it. And I just feel like the crowd, they're going to want to cheer for John Cena the rest of the way. And I think there's a cool thing you can do here, where if they do a double turn during this match and Cody wins the belt, I think you can build to a third match between these guys at the Saturday night's main event in December in Boston, which everyone is assuming that will be John Cena's last match in Boston. And you build to a third match with Cena trying to get the belt back so he can leave with the belt from Cody, in which he'll lose because it's his last match. He'll lose. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this match. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't know either. And I mean, there's so many factors that have become non-factors that could become factors again. Does The Rock make an appearance here?
I hope not. Well, let me tell you this. If The Rock makes an appearance, Cody is turning. If The Rock makes an appearance, Cody turns, and he turns the same way that Cena did to him at Elimination Chamber, and he goes with The Rock. That's what I think. I think if The Rock shows up, 100% Cody's turning on John Cena to go with The Rock. That's how I feel.
I'm the one that said, too, like a week, or the last week or the week before when they did that split screen promo thing.
Yeah.
Funny, there's almost a split screen effect on this graphic as well. It's, I don't know. That was a very. Now John will be at SmackDown tomorrow.
Yes, he will.
So we'll
they did
see
the
what.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What his reaction will be. Technically, it seems that, and we said this last week. How are they gonna hold up that contract?
I don't know how it's
John
still legal.
Technically didn't sign it himself.
I don't know how this is still officially a match. I don't know how that contract signing held up in court or held up. How? Makes no sense. Yeah, correct.
But this is wrestling, so I don't know. I feel like there could. So Bonkers said something interesting that I've not thought of. Cena wins and Cody turns heel anyway. I don't know if.
Then that would still build to a third match between them, potentially.
Maybe that's the final match.
And Cody wins the belt from Cena in his last match. Like right before John can leave with the belt.
That doesn't feel like a Saturday night's main event match, though. That feels like a big time.
But this is gonna be a different type. It's Cena's last match. This is not the typical Saturday nights. We're not watching Goldberg's last match at this one. Put it that way. We're watching John Cena's. Like this is gonna be different. This is gonna be very, very different. And if you think about it, though, the first couple of Saturday, I just watched that Unreal show. The second episode revolves around the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens match at Saturday night's main event, where Owens package pile drived him after. Like they've had big world title matches on Saturday night's main event before.
Yeah.
And obviously the Goldberg match was a world title match too, but you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I agree with you that it does feel more like a big time pay-per-view match. I mean, let's see. It's been the main event of fucking WrestleMania and now SummerSlam this year. So it is that. Yes, it is that. But Cena's last match, I think, is almost even. Don't hate me, but to me, Cena's last match is more important than WrestleMania and SummerSlam. In this, like in a 1 year window, Cena's last match to me has more gravitas than the main event of SummerSlam and WrestleMania. Because it's John Cena. So this is not just a regular guy having his last. This is the guy of the last 25 years. Carried this fucking company when this company had nobody else at times. Nobody else. And I was in the Cena sucks section. Like, I wasn't like a fucking, whoa, no, but there's no question. You can make the argument, and plenty of people do, that he's the greatest to ever do it. And I do not argue with those people because I don't think I can tell them they're wrong, even though I have a different answer. I just think that his last match is going to be held in regard like it is a WrestleMania main event. Truly. And I think either way you do it, whether he wins this and there's a heel turn down the line or right after, or if there's a double turn during the match, which I feel like would be a fun thing. We haven't really seen that a ton lately. And if they could do that, where like maybe Cena, at one point, Cena goes to grab the title and he's going to hit Cody with the title. And then for some reason, he has second thoughts. And then Cody hits Cena with the title to win. Because Cody, we've seen. So basically, since Night of a little bit before for John, but basically since Night of Champions, we've seen Cena show a little bit of like baby faceness.
Yeah, since there are truth stuff.
Right. Yes. And we've seen Cody show some aggression. That match that he had with Randy, Randy's his best friend, his mentor. He was doing whatever it took to beat Randy to become king of the ring. Whatever it took. And there were some times where it was like, damn, Cody, like, relax, man. That's your friend.
Which you could also then, you could then harken back to Elimination Chamber when John and Punk were the last two, and John took advantage and did whatever he could to win that match. But we didn't know at the time it was because he had aligned himself with The Rock.
Yeah.
And this could very well be the same thing with Cody here.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Cody is winning. I'm picking Cody to win. I feel like Cody is winning. He's going to win the title back. I don't know. I don't know if I think it's just going to be a straight up, like, Cody's the hero still and he just gets the title back. I don't know. And I get it. Cody's so over and that's a lot of money down. Like, I get it.
It doesn't
matter.
But
however, I think with certain people it does. And I think Cody is on that short list of people that does. But however, just for this calendar year, the rest of the way, you then have John Cena, who immediately is the top babyface for the rest of the year. He's still selling merch as good as ever. So it's like I feel like they have the parachute that they could do it now, because you have John Cena, who can just fill that void of being the moneymaker for the company on the men's side of things.
So there's something else too. So on SmackDown, Cody was talking about how he wants to face the old John Cena, not this new John Cena. And I think that actually plays a role into this as well. Now, we don't know what John is going to say on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yep.
But he said he wants the John that talks to Stu and runs down the whole old presentation of John.
Yep.
And it would be very interesting if that is what John decides to do at SummerSlam. And that would pretty much solidify that Cody is turning heel, I think. Yep. Because that's like, oh, well, John is going into this match basically as the de facto babyface.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen John do that since Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's got the dark, and which I think the presentation looks awesome. The black screen with just John Cena in white, no lights. It just still, as much as I like that presentation, I just think it still looks weird with him wearing bright colors. I think it's a little weird.
Well, he wears the black. He wears the black shirt though a good amount now. He's been wearing the black. No.
Yeah, I mean mostly, but he still has like red merch.
Yeah, I feel it.
He came out in blue a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
but
they're in New York for now. Tomorrow night, SmackDown is in New Jersey, like actual New Jersey. Tomorrow night at the where the Devils play, and then Raw is in Barclays on Monday. You going to that?
20 minutes away from me.
You're not going though. Raw after SummerSlam. That's probably if you would have. I think if you would have jumped on it earlier, you probably could have got access to go from here. Like you probably.
Well, I wasn't planning on going really.
Yeah, but it's free, man. You got to go every time they're in. Just fucking send them an email. Hey, I'm with Love Wrestling. I love to cover the. See if you can do it. But
I'll think about it. Well, it's too late.
Well, it's too late now. It's probably too late now. But in future, if they're in your neck of the woods.
I haven't even looked at tickets or anything because I was like, I'm not into this right now. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I think coming off for SummerSlam is one of those Raws you want to be at though, because they don't treat it as much as the Raw after Mania, but it's kind of like that. They kind of treat it like that.
Well, yeah, right, because I would want to see the fallout of this match, and I feel like that wouldn't happen on Raw.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if they're at Barclays, one of these two guys is going to show up.
The fallout of Seth and Gunther, however, especially if Seth Rollins cashes in.
Punk and Gunther if Seth Rollins.
Punk, right. Yeah, Punk and Gunther, and if Seth cashes in.
Which he's gonna. Drew
that will
doesn't
be
think
on
that.
Raw, obviously.
Drew doesn't think that,
and
but I do. He's cashing in. Drew, he's cashing in. Yeah, then you get to see your boy Braun Breaker deal with all his emotions of like becoming the leader, and then Seth Rollins saying, "Pipe the fuck down. You used to get back in line."
I'll probably get to see Jay, which would be nice. And
It'd be cool to be part of that entrance.
I've been part of it before, but when actually I went to at the last WWE show I went to, which was a SmackDown, when he was trying to get Roman, right when Roman came back, and I don't remember the exact segment.
Yeah.
It was leading up to SummerSlam, I think. No, it's not SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Yeah.
When they were trying to get the family together to form the team. So yeah, that was the last wrestling show I went to.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Ophelia is saying that you can be the one that consoles Braun if you want.
Now, I mean, I would not say no to that at all.
You might get Izzy Dame coming after you, just so you know. But it is what it is.
Who's
NXT superstar. They're together in real life. Her and Braun.
Oh, okay.
They're together.
I did not know that.
Spencer popping in the chat saying good morning. Good morning, Spencer. We just basically finished up our SummerSlam preview of the giant 2-night affair that is happening this weekend. We talked a little AEW Dynamite. The first 45 minutes to hour of the show went through that quickly as we got to SummerSlam. But the wrestling week continues. Dynamite really kicked it off. If you want to put the thing on the bottom, I'm going to talk about that right now. So Dynamite kicked off the wrestling week heading into the weekend. We have a live collision tonight, counter-programming me and Pluggo again because AEW is scared. Counter-programming us again. We have a live collision tonight. And then tomorrow night, not only is there SmackDown live emanating from New Jersey, John Cena will be there, but right here on Love Wrestling, as you can see, that's been below us all month, we have LPW 39 Time to Pretend. So another fantastic LPW show happening tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on IWTV. If you haven't, I don't know where the hell you've been hiding behind. But if you haven't watched any of our shows here that LPW puts on, that we put on every last Friday of the month for 39 times now, you are missing out. Some of the best independent wrestling you will ever see. So 9 p.m. Eastern Time, IWTV, LPW 39, Time to Pretend. And then that will be the perfect lead-in to the SummerSlam, the SummerSlam. Did you notice that on CM Punk's promo on Monday, he called it the SummerSlam?
Yeah,
as his tribute to Bret Hart. That's the SummerSlam. But yes, so yeah. But that's gonna do it for Drew and I.
I'm checking social media to make sure there's no gigantic breaking news like what happened last week.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about it because I think it's been talked about at length.
Oh yeah, and I'm
we literally went off the air last week, and within like 3 minutes, almost immediately of us going off the air, we got the news that Hulk Hogan passed away. So I'm just waiting for some other gigantic news story to break the second that our song ends to end this show. That show would have went on for 4 fucking hours if that happened on air. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if we were still on air when that news broke, we would have been here until well into the afternoon talking about everything. But you can see our opinion. You can, it is, I mentioned that at the beginning of the show, Spencer. It is Major League Baseball trade deadline day. I am anxiously awaiting my Red Sox doing fucking nothing again for the 4th straight year, even though they told all of us for the 4th straight year they were going to do something. Cheap fucks. We actually have a good team that can actually make a run at shit, and they're not going to do anything. I hate my team. Not the players, but my ownership. Okay. Blue Jays are looking good until they become the Blue Jays and they don't do anything. Anyway.
It is in a wrestling-ish, but not really related thing. CNN has reported that Triple H as well as some other people like Lawrence Taylor and Harrison Butker.
Butker, he's a
Sorry.
piece of shit.
Is Lawrence Taylor a piece of shit?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he is as a person. I don't know if he is as a person. Scott, you live in New England. The fact that you root for teams that are not Boston-based, I love you. Your opinion of sports is irrelevant to me. But Lawrence Taylor, yes, he had drug issues and he was not good to women when he was in his heyday. So not a good guy. Not a good guy. Well, I don't know if he. Well, that was a long time ago. He played in the 80s and 90s. I don't know. If it's politically, politically thing, I don't want to hear about political stuff. I really.
It is a political thing, yeah.
Yeah, then I don't care. We know what side they're on. They're on the sides of pieces of shit. Like that's it. All right, that's all we have to say. I don't really want to get into it.
This is a news story, you know. So
but we report wrestling. We don't report news
involving a wrestling person.
Oh, all right, Scott. I thought you were talking about the Blue Jays. I was ready to get on your ass. I was like, when the hell did you abandon the Red Sox? We're not making moves. If you think we're making, trust me, I want them to. They should. We should make moves because there's a chance to get to the World Series if we make moves. But I don't believe it until I see it because we suck. But anyway, continue.
Well, I mean, so the stupid, it's just that they're going to be joining you know who.
Yeah.
While he signs an executive order that will expand on his Council of Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, including reviving the presidential fitness test in public schools. I don't even know what the hell that is.
The presidential fitness test?
Yes.
So in public schools, they're going to be physically testing kids to make sure they're fit enough while he's a fat fuck?
I remember taking a test, a physical fitness test.
Yeah, it's called gym. That's the final. That's your final. Well, no, but
it was like a specific thing. I guess maybe that's what it was. I didn't know it was called that at the time.
Whatever. Whatever. I don't even know why you brought that up. But
Triple H, you know, our Lord and Savior of WWE.
Who said that?
Absolutely does not love the spotlight at all.
Who said that? Who said he's our Lord and Savior? I never said that. Yeah. All right. Well,
our meaning just, you know, it's a collective of WWE fans.
Yeah. What move did we make last night? Listen, we're going to make moves, Scott. We're going to make moves, but we're not going to make the moves we need to do. We need to get a legitimate number 2 starter or a legitimate top half of the order bat. And we are not going to give up what it takes to get that. We are going to make fringe bullshit moves like we always do. We're going to get some reliever who's going to suck or some guy you never heard of. And that's going to be where in reality, we should not have left Minnesota without Joe Ryan. We should not have left Minnesota without Joe Ryan. Period. End of story. They're not going to do anything. They will make 2 or 3 moves. So people people that will think, oh, well, we made some moves. And they're going to be irrelevant moves. Okay, Steven Matz. Steve, you know how long Steven Matz has been good for? Never been good. Never been good. Been in the league for 8 years. Average as average gets. So again, those type of moves are not good enough moves to do what they need to do. And people, I hope you're not one of them, but people like you and fans like you are going to get them off. They're going to leave them off the hook because they're going to think that's good enough when it's not fucking good enough. Go get a star, go get a stud. And they're not going to because they're cheap and everyone's going to be like, ah!
Your team is going to do the wrong thing. My team is going to do the wrong thing, but aren't we the kings of wishful thinking?
Yeah. Are we? Your team is, you don't have Aaron Judge anymore. Aaron Judge he's out for a little bit.
Don't remind me, please.
He's out for a little bit, and then he's going to come back. He's probably just going to DH, which at the end of the day, that's all you really need. Like, you don't care about what he does on the field. You just need to, if he can hit, that's all you really need him for. You don't pay him because he plays on the field. You pay him because he hits 60 home runs a year. That's why you're paying him. So if he can still DH, you're fine. You're fine. I just know it's the 3rd or 4th year in a row that the Red Sox have been actually competitive. This year, I feel like they're more competitive than the previous, but I feel like the Red Sox have been competitive for the last 2 or 3 years around the trade deadline, and they tell all the fans that they're going to add to the team and they're going to do stuff, and then they never do, or the people they add are fringe fucking scrub-like moves, which Steven Matz is one of those guys. He's one of those guys. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not falling for it. I'm not letting them off the hook. If they don't get a legitimate stud hitter or a legitimate stud starting pitcher, it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and they should be chastised for it. Period. End of story. I am not okay with Steven Matz. Not good enough. But we have until 4 p.m., so we'll see, or 6 p.m. We'll see. We'll see. But Drew, we got to get out of here. We've almost gone for 3 hours today. Thank you to everybody in the chat that popped in. Appreciate you all. I will probably be more angry about baseball tonight on Beards when my team doesn't do anything. I'm just already angry because I know they're not going to do anything after they traded our best hitter for a bag of balls and 2 guys that suck. And then they said, well, this gives us flexibility to make moves at the deadline. That's why we traded Devers, to make moves at the deadline. And then they're not going to make any moves at the deadline. And it's going to be like, no, you traded Devers to save a lot of money because you're cheap assholes. But anyway, I digress. I actually like the team and I like the way we're playing. It's just going to be a shame where the front office tells them for the 4th year in a row that they don't believe in them. And they're not going to add to them because they don't think they're going to win. So anyway, Drew, why don't you let the people know where they can find you? And we'll do our thing and get out of here.
At the Drew Nicholas, Twitter, Blue Sky. Trying to be more active on Blue Sky because I downloaded it thinking I was never going to be on Twitter again, and then I still use Twitter mainly. It's just where everything is. It's where everybody is. Even though we all talk shit about it, it's still where everybody is. Really.
And that's the thing, right? Like, I like Blue Sky. I like Blue Sky a lot. I like the community of Blue Sky. It's a way more positive area. There's not a lot of the bullshit. But at the bottom line is everything is still on Twitter. Twitter still is the number one. Everything's on Twitter. I feel like if you're running a business or you're doing things like this, I understand the moral aspect of it and I respect it, but I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you're it's just everything is still like, that's where you reach the most people. It's where it is what it is. It just sucks because that app is so fucking bad. That app is so bad, but it is what it is. But yeah, you can find me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms, including Blue Sky. And like Drew said, I mean, it's on us. We should be better about using Blue Sky more often. It's just, like you said, everything is on Twitter, and it stinks.
Yep.
But it's just the way it is. So follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming. I will be back here tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We got the Kicking Out podcast crew guys joining us. Yeah, Scott, I don't care about why do you care about the Giants? Who gives a shit? They're in San Francisco. We got to get out. Like, who cares about the Giants? I don't care about that. But anyway, 8 p.m. tonight, the Kicking Out crew will be joining us. We'll break down SummerSlam. It's the biggest party of the summer, so we're deciding to have an early party on Beards. LPW 39 tomorrow night. Everyone enjoy SummerSlam this weekend. Drew and I will see you next week.
It's a hot one. Stay cold, everybody.
Is it hot?
It's 89 degrees here right now.
It's supposed to cool down, though, after today. The weekend is supposed to be normal.
Supposed to be normal. Thank God.
That's what I heard. But for Drew, for myself, for everybody here at Love Wrestling, we appreciate you all, and we will see you real, real soon. Until then, peace out.